around January.
Yeah, you gotta do something about that.
Peace, brother.
Peace.
Sure. So, since you've been in New York, have you run into any people that's been able to tell you anything about us? Or
No, not really. I learned everything just from just YouTube, really.
oh, so you've been looking at the law school and like a YouTube page?
No, I've just been just random. I honestly haven't dug that much into it, but like you just hear rappers say things, you know, like word is bond and stuff. You know, does that all come from here?
Yeah. So what did it spark in you already? Like when what did it you hear a lot of things on records.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What in particular drew you to want to learn more?
Well, I think this place seems like a fundamental, like cornerstone of the black culture, and I have this just massive respect for that culture, because just the years that I put in playing jazz, it just opened my mind to how talented some of these people are, and it made me consider their perspective more than my own. You know, I want to learn more, and so that kind of just led me down that trail. Now that I'm here, I know this place exists, and I wanted to just see what it would be like, you know.
All right. That's peace.
Peace.
You know, the 5%. You know, we was founded in 1964. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it had a tremendous impact on the black youth in New York City. So much of an impact that, like, when you see something like hip hop music, right, and it comes out of New York, it would be impossible for something to come out of New York without having 5%ers involved. It would be like something coming from France and the French language not being involved.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? The 5% became a part of the fabric of New York City, you know, right in the years leading up to hip hop.
And I can tell that, and that's what drew me here, is that if I'm gonna be living here now, I gotta experience that, something that important. I gotta see what it is, you know?
But see, this is a more universal science. You know, all of us, we have a way that we first get introduced to the knowledge, you know, locally through whoever you know what I mean, or whatever you experience. But this is a universal science that we dealing with. You see what I mean? The foundation of the science was that, you know, in really for the entire time, see, we call ourselves the original people, right? The entire time the original people have been over here, you know what I'm saying? We was dealing with different levels of oppression because we lack knowledge. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On whatever level. So, you know, the last people in our community that nobody came to address was the youth. So this nation in particular, you know what I'm saying, and our founder, whose name is Allah, right? He came out and brought the message to the youth of who we are, so that we would be able to activate, you know what I'm saying, in whatever environment and be able to be successful. And what you've seen is that a lot of us was very successful in the music world. You see what I'm saying? But this entire science, what we teach, is who we are, right? That the black man is God, the white man is the devil, right?
Yeah.
And we teach the science of mathematics, which is how you draw, how you know, how you can identify what every element in the environment is and know what the relationship is between them.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how we use mathematics.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? We got a few people out here. We got Asia, Justice, and Wise. Now I don't have two classes. This is as soon as he had another emergency situation.
I was about to ask too.
Yeah,
As soon as you really changed your look, man.
That's a good one. That's a
Been
good
doing
one.
some stretches.
I break
Doing some
dancing.
stretches.
I've been break dancing.
Yeah.
How the guy doing though?
Yeah, the guy that's everything is peace. He just had to deal with something, you know.
I'm just asking because you said emergency like I spoke
Oh,
to
yeah,
you a couple
nah.
days ago.
Oh, nah, I don't know what it was, but I'm saying if he not here, I figure it was
Nah, yeah,
emergency.
you good. You good.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Just
saying?
making sure.
Whatever it was, if it wasn't
It's
urgent.
like an emergency, like nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Health, everything is good.
Alright, yeah, that's really what
Nah,
I'm
yeah,
asking.
you good.
He good. He good. I just spoke
Just
to
had an
him.
emergency.
Yeah.
He just had an emergency in the school, you know, with the virus going on and stuff. Not him, but you know.
Nah,
he
I
had
feel
to
everybody's
cancel-
dealing with
He
that
had to
nonsense.
cancel some situation.
I heard there's
that
actually a
make it-
cure coming out for the coronavirus on November 5th.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I believe is when it's scheduled for.
Nah.
Day
What you
after
talking
election.
about? At the end of the year? At you talking about?
The day after election day, I'm pretty sure is when the cure is going to be released.
Yeah.
I mean, see, all these things, man, a lot of that stuff, man. You
How you
know,
feel about it, G?
you mean how I see it?
Yeah, how you see it?
It's one of them things I'm just observing right now.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? It's no conclusive, like, you know, we could base, you know, you see there's a difference between what they call deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning. See, in deductive reasoning, right? You see what the facts are, and you know you only deal with that. You can only deal with what you know. See, in inductive reasoning, right? That's when you start bringing in things that you think.
Makes sense.
You understand what I'm saying?
Inductive, right?
Yeah, right. You start
You bringing it
inducing,
in,
right?
introducing it,
And instead of deducing.
deducing.
You understand what I'm saying? When you deduce, you like, okay, it's this many people in the room, right? The chalk is missing.
I get what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying?
You start breaking it down.
Right.
Okay,
Now I
he
start
was
saying,
here,
okay, when you
nah,
came in,
nah.
yeah,
You
right,
start
right, right.
deducing it.
But like the deductive would be you start looking for clues of who has the chalk. Inductive
Just narrowing
would be
it down.
You have the chalk, and now I'm gonna prove it.
Right.
You get what I'm
And
saying? You do the
start and
research
right
to
and see
support
and
your
see and see
conclusion
now
that's
when I
all
say,
you
well,
have.
see,
Right.
you stole something last week. All right, that ain't really got nothing to do with that. You see what I'm saying? I'm inducting something else
Right.
that's
You
not
only,
really.
Basically, you letting the facts.
Yeah.
What you call that? It's like math almost.
Yeah,
To
that's
the
math.
factor,
Logic.
to the lowest,
Yeah,
to the lowest factor.
yeah. You see
The
what I'm
lowest
saying?
common
Reducing
denominator?
it to the lowest common
But
denominator.
inductive is more like you come up with an idea and you know that you're right, so you find
It's
all the facts that
intuition.
will support that. Deductive is you have a question and you look for an answer. You see the difference? So like if inductive would be like the earth is flat and I'm gonna prove it. Deductive would be like is the Earth, what shape is the Earth? And then you start looking
Yeah,
for clues,
yeah,
and you go, oh, okay,
yeah.
it's round, just like everybody knew it
You
was.
see what I'm saying? So with this coronavirus thing, you know what I'm saying, when people tell you they different theories, you know, for me, they're constantly using inductive reasoning. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is one of those things, you know, that I was saying earlier that, you know, sometimes just because something gets covered on the news, then it makes it look more important. It makes it look like it's happening, you know, all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it can make it seem like an emergency situation, but really it's just getting covered on the news.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like they can you know, the way they report on our neighborhood, right? Even though crime is down, they still report it at the same level. You understand what I'm saying? So people still see us the same way. You see what I mean? Even though it's down, because it's the squeaky wheel. You know what I'm saying? And right now, the news, that's just the science, that's the, you know, the news is big business. And the biggest business on the news is fear. So see, anything that scares the people, they're going to just report it and report it and report it and report it and that's what backfired with Trump. They was reporting on Trump because they were scaring the people. Look, he's got these racists with him. Look what they doing. Look, they stomping people out.
And then all the racists were like, hell yeah, let's vote for
right.
it.
It backfired.
I wasn't gonna vote, but hey.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? All that controversy and stuff like that. That's what they need to
You
cover
wasn't even really thinking about
on the
Trump.
news.
Everybody was taking him serious, but since they talk so much about him, everybody like, what?
Well, he made people also feel comfortable to come out of the
Be out of their closet with their
Yeah,
house.
exactly. 'Cause, I mean, they was always there. Like, I wasn't
Yeah, it
surprised
was just a closed
that
door.
Pennsylvania went to him. You ever drive through Pennsylvania? You see Confederate flags in a state that fought for the North. You see a lot of that. So I wasn't really surprised when it went to him. He got people to vote that normally don't care, but now they're like, oh, we hate all the same things? Go hate them together.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You know, look, hate, that's another thing that's up there. You know what I'm saying? Right behind fear. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times if you see, it'll go together. You know what I'm saying? And whatever they reporting, they'll give you the person to hate. That's the boogeyman that you're supposed to be scared of. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, with this thing right here, you know, or any other thing, you know what I'm saying? They report, but because, you know, you talking about hardcore numbers, right? I don't know what the you know, how many people, like they tell you, look, this many people have contracted coronavirus and this many people died, right? How many people died from other stuff in that time?
Yeah, facts.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't.
Only 2%
I don't
die of it, and it's only elderly with compromised immune system.
You see what I'm saying? But the way it's reported on, that's what I'm saying, until you really get into the details. See, God the devil is in the details a lot of time. You understand what I'm saying?
You ever heard of the dihydrogen monoxide experiment?
I heard of it.
It's water.
So, yeah, it's water. So the whole point of the experiment is you present facts that people already know in an alarming way to see if you can change their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And every time they do this experiment, people sign petitions and all that to try to make water illegal.
Right.
Because they're like, yo, it's used in cleaning agents. 100% of the people who use it die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know that 100% of the people that do anything are gonna die.
Yeah, the 100% of people
But when you
going to die
present
anyway.
that fact in that way, you get people scared of water because
Yeah.
they don't know what the word means. They're just like, well, I don't know what it is. So if what you're telling me is really it causes drowning, that's crazy. Make it illegal.
Lacking knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know I was reading this story one time where they said that the Portuguese guy, when he first got to Africa, right, he shot someone with a gun, so they knew what a gun could do, right? So he gives one of them the gun and tells him to shoot him. So he jumps on the ground, starts shaking, and then he gets up, takes off his shoe, and he dumps a bullet out his shoe. You know what I'm saying? And then he tells them,
That's mad smart.
he tells them, so you can't kill a white man.
That's mad smart.
You understand what I'm saying? So he planted that degree of fear, and it wasn't even true. You understand what I'm saying? Because fear, most emotions is in people.
Well, yeah, fear lives in everybody. So does love. It's just
Yeah,
what,
right.
what are you speaking to, and what is controlling you? What is making you navigate? Are you navigating with love? Or are you navigating with fear?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
See, people that's haters, they just hate on stuff.
That's it.
They don't even just be, yo, man, I hate when the sun be out, man. Like, just, you know what I'm saying? They just hate it. They just hate. Just for no reason, be like, yo, the kid is cold as whack. Just, you know what I'm saying? Because that's in them. You know, yeah, certain things can stimulate it.
Yes.
Fear's
You know what I'm
an easy
saying?
one to stimulate too.
Right.
Fear's
You know
a
what I'm
really
saying?
easy one to stimulate.
But, you know, when a person is a good person, they just be cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like, nah, you know, be cool with me. I don't, you know what I'm saying? He could be whoever. But if the person got love in them, that's how they gonna treat all the people that come in their midst. Just like if a person have fear in them, they're gonna be scared of all the people and all the things they come in contact with. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, with that, that's the first thing off the top. You know what I'm saying? Like another thing, you know, to go with what you were saying with the
Dihydrogen monoxide.
yeah, another thing to go along with that, right, is the War of the Worlds experiment. You know what I'm saying? Where you broadcast that aliens is invading the planet, you know what I'm saying, and people really start calling the police, they saw the aliens. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know,
I think Charmin is behind the whole thing.
you know, mass hysteria is a thing too.
It's a weapon.
You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, the masses being so upset and afraid of something happening, you understand what I'm saying, is kind of, you know, that can happen on its own. You understand what I'm saying? Because I haven't really, you know, these different theories that they come up with of what's happening, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and, you know, at the end of the day, look, man, it's deadly viruses all around us.
Yeah, there's a lot more like
Yeah.
horrible things you could
Look,
catch.
it's deadly animals. It's deadly animals. It's not all organisms get along. You know what I'm saying? Lions don't get along with zebras. You see what I'm saying? So by the same token, you know, some of those viruses, you know, those type of organisms, some of those type of organisms get along with us very well. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, I just, you know, like you said, when you really, you know, boil it down, you know what I'm saying? You got a situation where 2% of the people that is you know, contracting this thing that they saying is the flu. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had the flu before. It didn't take me out. You know what I'm saying? It's not the 1800s where, you know, they don't have aspirin or nothing. Where, you know, in the 1800s.
Yeah, everybody's running around. It's the Black Plague.
Like, yeah, like, see, in that time, you could get a scratch.
Yo,
You could get a scratch on your hand right here and end up dying. You see what I mean? If that scratch get infected because, you know, you don't have,
You don't pray hard enough.
right.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But you don't have something as simple as rubbing alcohol. Like, look, we talking about something that they said that because it's made, the structure of it, the outside of it is made out of fat, right? So basically, the soap and the water, right? The same way it breaks up the grease when you washing the dishes, it breaks up the oil of the structure of the virus.
Which is really disgusting when you think about the fact that we have an epidemic that you can stop by washing your hands.
Right.
yeah, but it's an epidemic. So it's an epidemic. There's a difference between an epidemic and a pandemic. So with a pandemic, is out there. An epidemic is inside of something. So the epidemic is in Asia. And in Asia, that's where the problem really is. It hasn't become a pandemonium because it hasn't reached the entire world. It's just something that was definitely detected in Asia, and they're finding it now in traces of other people. But
See, personally, if you ask me, right, the way it's going, I'm not an epidemiologist. I don't work for the CDC, right? But the way they finding it right now, it would appear to me, just from the lay person's perspective, that this thing has been around for a minute.
yes,
Yeah, there's a patent on
Right,
it.
yes.
Like this thing has been around. People have been traveling all over. Like we've all been exposed to this thing already, man.
The Simpsons called it in what, 90 something?
I mean, whatever you expose your body to, as far as anything, when you introduce your immune system to this virus or whatever, if it doesn't kill you, it will make you strong in a way, right? Because you will be able to go on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm saying it's not just that.
Exactly, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
not just that. This is what I'm saying. That is people, right? Some of that toilet paper that they going out and hoarding was made in China.
Yeah.
Eh?
It was shipped here from China. Like the whole time, like remember we first started hearing about this thing, a month and a half ago or whatever it was, right?
Mhm.
So in all that time, people been traveling back and forth doing their thing before they knew it was going to get to this level. And this is New York City.
Yeah.
So if people traveled, they traveled here. You understand what I'm saying? They've been on the public, all this stuff. So listen, we've already been exposed to this stuff, man. Can't take us out. I heard all this stuff before, man. I remember they were saying by like 2000, half of the people in America was gonna have AIDS.
What was last year's?
You have the swine flu,
The
you
swine
have all
flu.
types of stuff, yeah.
I
Yeah,
remember in 2012 it was
There
the
was
Mayan
staff,
calendar.
had staff,
everybody
remember
was
staff? You couldn't touch
This-
people with the staff.
this what I'm saying.
Oh,
This is what I'm saying. Did anybody read the
SARS.
article? Did anybody read the article? There was an article where they was saying that the mosquito was the most deadly,
Yeah, because it carries traces of blood. You can get Hep C from a mosquito.
and they were saying that it was the most deadly to man. That the mosquito has taken out more people than all the wars, all the everything. You understand what I mean? Because it transferred deadly diseases, like you said, because it deals with blood. Like these things exist. You understand what I'm saying? The same way, see, sometimes that's what it is too, man. See, like, look, when you see a lion eat a zebra, you be like, yeah, that's nature, man. Can't do nothing about that. That's just the way it is, that's nature. You understand?
Viruses gotta
We see,
eat too,
right? Now that something come for you, now it's, whoa, what's going on here? You understand what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. It ain't no need to panic, man. You understand what I'm
It's
saying?
explained like that, absolutely. But it's because it's triggered with hysteria that it's like people are reacting the way they are.
It's because people don't want to think of themselves as food. They
Right.
don't listen to enough Conway.
Yeah.
Everybody is food.
See,
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
because that's the reporting. You know what I'm saying? That's their job, is to get everybody hype enough to listen every day.
I wonder who's going to be next. 'Cause it was Arabs last year, now it's Chinese.
No, it's
people.
Chinese. That's what. That's another
That
thing.
you
I
got
feel
run
like
away
this,
from.
yeah, I don't think that it's created in a
But
use
how was
to.
Arabs last year?
Oh no, it was Mexicans last year. It was Arabs before that. Now it's Chinese people.
I feel like it's used to separate just people from the Chinese at the moment, which may not be true, but I see it as
It's like the business.
yeah, for a bit like a Chinese businessman and the business that the Chinese have in
Yeah,
this
I wouldn't
state.
want to do, like, I don't think people going to Chinese restaurants.
No, they're not exactly. So
they're
it's
Chinese
like- it's
restaurants.
just that
Right
right
now,
now.
But here's it.
right
Now look. I'm saying
You
now.
always gangster for that. I ain't gonna.
But look, this is
Chinese
look at the deductive part
So
of
they
this
live in
though.
the Bronx.
The deductive part of this though is that the Chinese apparently started it.
Yes.
So
So why is it patented here?
it's patented.
Yeah. It's
And
patented.
see, I said all this stuff. What's the patent number, man? Like people just be saying stuff.
I know that Lysol been saying for a while that it protects against coronavirus.
Lysol?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
It's
a
on the
there's a
bottle.
thing going around on Instagram that's a picture of the patent of it.
But that's Instagram though. There's like
Yeah,
also
yeah.
lots of pictures.
That's what I'm saying. There's pictures of girls with giant, huge butts. That's not real either. You know what I'm saying? You can't get too caught up with, Instagram. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you something. I heard Lysol say that years ago. See, coronavirus is not one virus.
Yeah, this is the 19th one that's out.
It's
now.
a family of viruses. You know what I'm saying? And one of them is the common cold, one of the coronaviruses. So if you remember, Lysol has always been saying that they can kill the germs that cause the common cold. You understand what I'm saying? So they just updated the claim.
It's a half truth though.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's true or not. I'm
Viruses
saying
is
that
like
they've
roaches.
been saying that.
Viruses is like roaches. If you kill the parents, the babies are immune to whatever you kill
They're
them.
involved, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're kind of like proof of evolution, right?
Yeah, it's involved.
Right.
It's
But
coming
yeah,
back
they-
stronger and
That's
stronger.
why this
and
was the
stronger.
19th one. So it just they stay swift and changeable because it's survival of the fittest out there, yo. It's a dog eat dog world.
What happened?
Adapt
Hold
or
up.
die.
Reveal said dudes right here in Mecca jumping Asian people.
Wait, seriously?
You said some Asian people got jumped?
They're doing that on the train. On the train, they beating them up and all types of stuff.
Nigga, who?
I see
Doesn't
that.
that put you at a higher
It's a
risk?
bit- it's
because
bit-
then they're gonna be caught
It's
in
That's
exactly
not-
people that are hysterical.
Nah, that ain't.
Nah, that might be fucking like Illuminati trying to pay some people to beat up Chinese people now.
Man.
Do they have nice
Nice
phones?
phones.
Let me tell you something.
That might just
Let me
be a
explain
robbery
something
that
to
got
y'all.
sensationalized.
Let me explain
Yeah,
something to
niggas
y'all.
been on
Yeah,
Chinese
iPhone.
food.
Let me explain something to
Yeah,
y'all.
iPhone.
Let me explain something to
Yeah,
y'all.
Chinese food. is
If a person has less than $1 billion, Illuminati's not gonna speak to you. Look, if you have less than $5 billion, Illuminati's not gonna speak to you. See, that's like, James Dolan speaking to the ticket collector. Like maybe on a slight outside chance you just happen to be watching this door and he come past or something. But he's not gonna start telling you about the inner workings of the Knicks organization. He's not gonna ask you to do nothing like, secret societies is secret for a reason. And we already know the brothers talk too much, man. You know what I'm saying? We already know that. They not talking.
I used to always tell people that would be like, like, do you know the time and manpower and money it would take to survey you? And you got like, what,
Yeah.
an ounce of crack?
Listen,
It's really not worth the money
Listen,
to watch your ass for that little ounce of
listen,
crack.
that's what I brought this point up earlier. That sometimes we don't look at the reality that we haven't really made ourselves important enough for a conspiracy to be launched against us. You see what I'm saying? Like when J. Edgar Hoover said Martin Luther King is the most dangerous man in America, right? What are we doing like that?
And he's got a mustache.
Yeah, you do look a little bit like Martin Luther King. You said that. You do
It only gets like that when, they see the political side, like the Black Panthers. You see what I'm saying? When they was running around with guns and they talk about black power, then J. Hoover say, okay, we gotta stop them.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this.
Like concept probation.
What I'm saying is this, right? When you got 6ix9ine, right, get 100 million downloads, we don't need to move on these people. What do we need to move on people that's busy doing that with their time? Now, if they sitting there studying, they reading books, you know, now we got to see what's going on over there at that library. Clearly there's some type of drugs being sold in there.
Well, obviously, I mean, nobody's gonna sit around reading books all day.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Then you causing, but right now, listen, man, they don't want to get rid of us. We the ones that's buying all this stuff. Who else is gonna buy that crap? You don't see Mexicans buying the stuff we buy. You don't see Chinese people buying the stuff we buy.
You're the only one that didn't probably blow a whole paycheck on their footwear in this whole room.
You're talking to me.
Yeah.
I got these used for $7.
You just proved his point right there.
You see what I'm saying?
I went to like 6 stores to find these. I know you dropped a pretty penny on those.
You see what I'm saying? So that's you know that's how they thinking too. You gotta remember they goal is to extract money. Even once they got enough, they still in competition with each other. So you know, in terms of that, I haven't gotten involved. You know, it's like the bad old days of New York, right? I missed them. You know what I'm saying?
Why? 'Cause rent
Those
was
are the
cheaper?
bad old days.
Oh, the bad
The
old
good old
days.
days, the
Yeah.
bad old days.
The bad old days.
But
It
the
was terrible.
when
You
the
could
way
buy a
they,
house
but
for
see,
$1.
but this what I'm saying. It depends on the person.
Right.
It depends on the person and who they talking about and what was their experience in that time. I got the knowledge of myself in that time.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
It was a breeze for you.
So, yeah,
Breeze.
I loved it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, when they talk about, yo, you know, remember when it was like this and like that, I'm like, yeah, man, I remember it. You know, but so it's the same thing with this. You know what I'm saying? Where they, you know, they can say whatever they want to say, but like I said, if you're not a person who your health is already compromised, I don't think you got nothing to worry about from this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is one of those things where, you know, they don't like to waste a good crisis.
Yo,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
much is hand sanitizer now?
Right, you understand what I'm saying? So it's just one of those situations where, like, you know, look, well, if we're gonna get a chance to, you know, spread the pie around right now, then yeah, let's go ahead and milk it. But, you know, we know it's, you know what I'm saying? Because, see, like you said, look, they already got Merck and GlaxoSmithKline and all of them. They already got the vaccines being made. You understand what I'm saying? I think it was $8 billion Trump designated to fight. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, they're going to take their opportunity to do whatever they got to do. You understand what I'm saying? You know, just like everybody else would, but I don't get caught up in that stuff. You know what I'm saying? The last thing they got me with was 9/11. And they got me with that because I just got up. Like, I was just waking up, right? And as I'm waking up, it's on New York 1. And I see the One World Trade Center, one of the buildings is on fire. So as I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, this must be some type of simulation. And they showing, like, you know, how it would be if the World Trade Center caught on fire. And I'm listening to the lady talk, she's saying something, and then all of a sudden, right then, shoo, the second one comes in. So now I get up like, whoa. So the lady was like, that was definitely an attack. So I'm like, what? What was an attack? So now, you know, I'm like a little bit, so then a couple minutes pass, they hit the Pentagon. Wait a minute, I thought, you know, I was under the impression that they had some type of particular defenses surrounding the Pentagon. Like, I didn't know
Forces.
I didn't know some could come out of the sky and hit Washington, D.C. So now I'm like, man, yeah, this is serious, man. We're under attack. Like, you know, I'm ready to go get the kids from school, man, and get out of here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. And then, after a period of time, I started seeing that, yo, man, You know,
Right.
man, this stuff is, you know, it's they not here for me, man.
Yeah, I used to tell people that would oh, you could bomb the projects next. Why?
Yeah,
Why would anybody waste their time bombing the projects? Like, are you trying to start a war? Or are you trying to get a medal?
Somebody showed me
See
that
that?
on a $20 bill before the.
Mm-hmm. And folding, they showed you
Yeah.
it's burning.
this.
Mm-hmm.
I see
How
They
the
fold
things
it
on the
there.
top
See,
happen.
Yeah, they've been doing that since it happened.
They manipulate the garden around the White House and they fold it, and the garden looks like a flame. And it's,
But you know, you could fold a lot of things a lot of ways
Of
and
course,
get a lot
of
of
course,
images.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's all just lines and circles.
They manipulated the image on the back of the $20 bill to make it look like two buildings burning.
But you have to fold it into
You
a
see-
paper airplane to see it.
See, here's the thing though. Here's the thing with a lot of this stuff, you know, because we were talking about that earlier too. See, with a lot of this stuff, right? If you're gonna make a prediction, you gotta tell me before. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because now it's really a prediction and not your inductive reasoning. You see what I mean? So everything that happens, right? No matter what it is, like right now it's gonna be somebody come out in a couple days, right, and say, see, Nostradamus predicted this in this writing right here.
Oh, it's
Okay,
kind
why
of a
you ain't tell us
stretch.
that? Why you tell us that last year
You ever actually read his
before this
writings?
happened? Yeah,
Those predictions are really a stretch. Like he could be talking about anything.
that's what I'm saying. And that's
Yeah,
exactly
ambiguous ain't even a word for it.
that's exactly my point. Why you couldn't tell us before it happened? You see what I'm saying? Because you just, like you said, you drawing your connections that you trying to make.
Well, I predicted Sooners wasn't coming today.
That was fire.
Yeah, I predicted that because I called here before I even left Pelon, and nobody was picking up the phone, God. So I said something's up, you know, because usually somebody will always pick up the phone in the front. Somebody's supposed to be in the front, and when I came, the door was locked. So I came to the store, and then I came through the side. So I already knew it was past 7. So I said he ain't coming. Something happened again.
Because he hit like clockwork, yo.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
happy
he
now.
been
I
here
haven't
earlier.
seen
He
him
been
in
here
2 years. I
earlier.
just got back to New York. I was
Yeah.
gonna jump in and start messing with him too, because I have the title for class clown in law school, and he promised me he wouldn't let nobody take that crown too.
He told me, he said, there's 52 classes in a year, I might only miss 2, today's one of them. That was his explanation to me when I told him I was here. Sooner. He said, there's 52 classes in a year, I might miss 2, today's one of them.
Yeah, he don't miss it for
What?
nothing.
That's what he said.
That's what he told me.
Tell him I'm on him. Because I did 2 classes
That's
this
right.
year.
On that third one, you
You
will
right
pop up in his
inside.
crib.
Yup, it's the second class.
Had to go to his house old school. Make sure you
Yo,
study.
Ron,
Make
you
sure
said
you
two,
study your
son.
lessons.
today's 3.
Yeah, make sure you ain't in here hiding. Cause you ain't even studying.
Who's that? Who's that?
Soon, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Next time I had to go to his house. Oh man. Oh man, Reveal said he's on the front line. He works at a shelter. Yeah. But like I said, man, all this stuff, this stuff has already been around the world, man. That's the reason why they finding it in every place now.
Wonder what the next one's gonna be.
Hmm?
So I wonder what the next one is gonna be. You should start like an office pool for different doomsday scenarios that they report. in the
Well, I
news.
think right now, well, you know,
Everybody get their chance to win a couple dollars.
the thing that it looks like it's shaping up already, you know, they don't have to plan it. You know, with the way the economy is tanking,
Man,
you understand what I'm saying? See, you gotta remember these bombs, they just keep going off. You understand what I'm saying? Like you just put, you know, like how they throw one bomb in a room where it's all bombs and then they keep detonating. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, it's not gonna be an end to it. You know what I mean? They use one crisis to create another crisis. It might be a window of time in the very beginning, you know what I'm saying, that they make a change that it might seem like it's gonna be a change for the better. But when you trace the roots of whatever crisis, it always goes back to the last crisis and what they call the solutions for that crisis caused the next one.
It's like that children's song that was an old lady who swallowed a fly, and then she keeps swallowing a bunch of shit, try to get rid of the fly.
I didn't see that one.
You never heard that?
I didn't
Yeah,
hear
it's a
that.
little kid's song, yo. I used to have the book and stuff too when I worked in classrooms, but so basically this lady swallows a fly, and then she swallows like, I think it's like a frog, and then she swallows something to eat the frog, and then she swallows something to eat that, and then she swallows something to eat that. It's kind of like how the medical field is, when they go, oh, you have a thing wrong with you, here, take this pill, but that pill's gonna give you side effects, so take this pill for the side effects. But that pill might cause this, so take that pill to deal with the stuff that those other 2 pills are causing, and then take this other thing, and then, wait, who's your insurance carrier?
Right.
Nobody? Alright, never mind, you don't need any of this crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so see that's all of that stuff is, you know, it's already, you know, they planted the seeds of devilishment. You know what I'm saying? They already planted the seeds that they need to plant, you know, because, you know, nobody had to come to our house from Illuminati, right? And indoctrinate us into Christianity. Or show us how to eat pig. You understand what I'm saying? The seeds of that was already planted, you see what I'm saying? In every generation, they just continue to make fruit for them.
Facts.
You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, by the same token, you know, what you were saying, you know, Allah, the founder of this nation, you know, he planted those seeds in the 60s. And now you seeing them, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, me, I wasn't even birthed at that time. You know, even when he returned to the essence, I wasn't birthed yet. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he already planted the seeds out there that continue to bear fruit every time one of us speak on the mathematics. You see what I'm saying? Just like the brothers, whoever you heard on their records or wherever you heard them, right? When they spoke and those words took root in your mind, you know what I'm saying? And encourage you to come here, that's every time somebody speak on this mathematics, those seeds is bearing fruit.
You found out about this through music? What do you play? Horn?
I play guitar, but I didn't hear any guitar players mentioning this place. I was mostly
You hanging out with the wrong guitar?
no. Oh really? Do you know some?
Yeah, what's his name? Understanding C. What do you call cat? I forgot his name.
Oh, Freedom Williams.
Maybe. Is it Freedom? He plays guitar. And there's a few like instrument music. I play bass. Dave's son, I'm in a band with. I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's a lot of like instrument musicians that you see. I mean, like the hip hop is just more prevalent.
It's
like,
more
people
prevalent.
notice it.
Like you look at Rakim with his jacket.
It's not only that, but like there's
you
no
know.
there's no way to say peace God and then like what's today's man?
Oh,
knowledge, wisdom when you're
well,
playing the
listen to
bass.
John
you can only
Coltrane.
say it with your
Well,
mouth.
listen to John Coltrane. You ever listen to I Love Supreme? John
Yeah,
Coltrane. He has a prayer in the lyrics, and he has it written down. And when you listen to that track, he says those words with the horn. Like you can listen to the horn playing, and it's actually speaking the words of this prayer.
That's pretty cool.
It was crazy. It's the album called Love Supreme.
You know, I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
no Supreme.
Yeah.
It's a good album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, there's a lot of musicians that be around. Actually, tonight really is the night to come to if you're a music head, because that's Sonya's his main thing.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir,
he's
yes.
like the hip hop journalist.
Oh no kidding.
Yeah,
I'll have to come back next week.
yeah.
Sudanese fancies himself a music historian.
Oh, that's
hip
great.
hop and salsa. And I forced him to listen to the Bad Brains album, but he took like 6 months to get through it because
To the who?
Bad Brains. He found it, and I quote, jarring.
What kind of music is that?
Oh man, they founded like the New York hardcore punk movement.
Okay.
Oh, nah.
Yeah, it's 4 Rastas from DC, and in high school, white kids would tease me for listening to white boy music. There's 4 Rastas from DC was white boy music.
I went.
Yeah. They're also a reggae band.
Okay,
So,
right.
yeah, but
I
they,
love so.
yeah.
You got state of the art state of the art out there. Yes. Where the other brothers went?
To the back somewhere. Yo, they really fixed it up a lot. Yo, last time I was here, this floor wasn't here. None of that was here. The wood floor in the front was totally different. I think last time I was here, this room might have still been closed off. I don't even think it was finished with it, yo.
And now we put in some work over here now.
Work. And I know you got the other stuff. The button. I was with Dave's son today to get the thing for pressing buttons. I think he was gonna bring here.
Oh yeah, but I didn't see they sent you
The
there.
buttons. Well, he got the like a bunch of writings too. He got to do like the parliament reports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I dragged him down to Brooklyn because my flag got popped on a fucking turny thing from a lock on a door. And as soon as I felt the tug,
When the last time you was here?
2017, before I moved to Arizona.
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's when we was doing the repairs.
Yeah,
You
cleaning
said
out
you
the
moved
big-
to Arizona. Oh, you the brother. He said he went to Arizona to pick up.
Yeah. We
Alright,
drove 36 hours non-stop, yo. It was crazy.
Yeah,
The longest we slept for was 2 hours in a Walmart parking lot.
he did. Yeah,
Yeah.
He told me about that. I didn't know who he was talking about.
Did he tell you about what happened in Texas? I'm not gonna say it on camera, but did he tell you what happened in Texas?
I don't know if it's the same thing happened to me in Texas. The police had plane down there.
Yeah.
They
Yo.
pulled me over for doing 51 and a 50.
Oh.
Yeah, we got pulled over for doing 82 in the left lane of a 75 mile an hour. He said, well, that's only for passing. But then I would have to be going faster than 75 now, wouldn't I?
Man.
Yeah, nah.
They strict down there.
I wouldn't be able to live there for that, man.
Shaquem, you said you wouldn't be able to live there.
I don't know, not with that police like that, no.
You'll be alright. I
will
use
you-
my skin to get out of any type of trouble. I gave the puppy dog eyes in the sob
I
story.
mean,
Their son was smart enough to just stay quiet.
I don't
Listen, if you got the skin, use that shit. I've been using it all my life for my
I don't
people.
even want to have to look at them like, I don't even, I'd rather just not be around it to have to like
Where
play it
you,
off.
where you from?
Rochester.
Ouch.
No, I'm saying how you got to America? Your people, your family.
I don't even know.
What's your last name?
Bailey.
Bailey, so you're Irish.
That you could say that,
At
but
least somebody in your family. is
somebody
Irish.
told me
Either that or a hardcore alcoholic.
somebody told me, in my family I got a bunch of mixed things like France and English and German and who knows? How do I never took the time to look at it, and I honestly don't even care. It's like I'm an American, so whatever.
Yeah, that's a mentality and a mindset that, have you ever noticed that like if you go downtown, right, and you just stop any white person and you ask them, you tell them, so look, say Europe sucks.
Europe sucks.
Yeah, they ain't coming. But look, go up to a Puerto Rican and ask them to say Puerto Rico sucks.
Nah, son.
They-
Too much work for that. Not doing it. Let's fight your word. Chill.
Listen, you can't go up to
There's two of
nobody
us
else.
avoiding you right now.
You
Tread
can't go
carefully.
to nobody else. Listen, no matter how bad they hood is, no matter how bad it is, right? You go up to any original person. Look, man, say over there sucks. Nah.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But see, that's a part of what happened in America. That's why I asked you, see, when we came into this knowledge, right, we learned about our history, right? We got a lesson called the 1 in 36, right? That's about how we came over here, and got involved with being oppressed and everything. But see, a lot of white people don't know their history of how they got over here. You understand what I'm saying? And so you see the people that's poor in America right now, right? For the most part, they the peasants from Europe. You see what I'm saying? And they came over here poor, and they never, during that window of time, right, when they allowed some white people to rise in class, they didn't rise. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the people that you see out there protesting right now, because now that the middle class is shrinking and they can't rise anymore, you understand what I'm saying? A certain amount of frustration is built in. You see what I'm saying? But, a lot of white people was brought over here as slaves too.
I heard that before.
The Irish
Irish
indentured
people.
servants and
Yeah.
all that, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But it's just that,
But that was like a willing slavery, though. They signed up for it.
nah, they didn't. I mean,
They knew,
it's-
like,
nah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, that it wasn't to the same level, but the most reason why it wasn't to the same level is because they were allowed out of it. They were allowed to earn their way out. Meaning, that's the very first slave statute, right, in America was a dude named John Bunch. He was a black dude, and it was two white guys. They was all indentured servants on a farm. They were supposed to be working 7 years, right? So they decided, look, that's too long. We out. They escaped and they got caught. When they got caught, the two white guys got 1 extra year of servitude, and John Bunch got sentenced to lifetime servitude. And that was the first time that, it was put into law, everything that, the thing is, this guy's black. So he's gonna pay like that, and these people right here, they're gonna get another set of penalties. You understand what I'm saying? So,
From a business perspective, it's a smart move, though. You create a situation where you're not only profiting off of one group of people, but you also have another group of people that you're profiting off of, ready to defend you against
Right.
that first group of people for whatever little clinging on to the privilege that
Right.
they can get.
and see, that's another reason why a lot of people came over here. You see what I'm saying? Just like right now, right? In Israel, they let Jews come over there because they want you to move out onto the frontier. And when you move out onto the frontier, they know that eventually it's going to be some static between you and the people
Man,
that
it's
live out
expansion,
there
man.
already, right? And
Man.
so now we got to come over there and play hero. Now they attacked us. Now we gotta push the line.
And back to what he was saying, man, like how they would take someone who's a white slave and turn them against a black slave, man. Like
Well, not even
That-
a white
that-
slave.
that reminds me.
A white, just poor jackass on the street who
Right.
the only thing that he's got to his name is the fact that he's not black.
Right. So what I'm saying is, like, if you go back into history that much and then you look at it today, the reverberation of that, of people who are really should be, together with one another are being kept apart by the people above. You know what I mean? Like,
A lot of it today also though, like I noticed like a lot of white people have a real problem with accepting that there is such a thing as white privilege. Like I never had a problem accepting it because I'm not white. I just could pass as white,
Oh.
and I saw how fucking useful it was because my brother looked like him.
Right.
Now me and him gotta catch a cab back uptown to the Bronx.
Yeah.
Which one of us you think is gonna be able to catch it? So which one of us you think had the job of catching it? When we want Italian food, which one of us you think is gonna get better service? When
And I
doctor's appointments, standing online,
Right.
talking to police.
Right,
Like people
right.
don't want to accept it. Yeah, your life is a little bit easier because it's one less thing you gotta worry about. It ain't riches. Nobody's running around giving out white people money. Like just some dude just gonna go, hey, fellow white guy, here's $1,000. Like that
No.
doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Well, maybe in an Eddie Murphy skit, but other than that, it doesn't happen. But it's one less thing to worry about.
Right. Right. For me, the people that I admire more than anyone on this earth are Black Americans, man. Not just for what you've been through, but for the music that you've created and the culture you've created here. And those are the people I look up to. So I'm in this position where I'm this privileged person because of the way that I look, but I have a barrier between me and the people that I admire.
But you could still, like, a lot of people want to be like allies, but they don't do basic shit to help. They think you gotta do some grandiose shit, right? You have any black female friends?
Yes.
Alright, next time one of them needs to go to a doctor's appointment, just offer to go with her. Don't do shit. Just literally sit there and repeat everything that she says. And she's gonna walk out, if she's never had a white dude in a doctor's office with her before, she's gonna walk out and go, holy shit, that was a lot better service.
Why would they want me there?
Because the doctor's gonna talk to you. He's gonna look at her and then go, so, what's her name? And then
I feel like that.
everything that she says, you just repeat. I've done it for 2 baby mamas. Trust me, this is how it works. You just literally repeat the shit that they say,
Well, this
and they'll hear it better coming from
this
you.
girl that I know is very, like a strong, independent person. I don't think, and she's very intelligent. I don't think she would let someone talk to her that way.
Well, then, somebody can handle it themselves and doesn't even know if there is a difference, then yeah, it's a wasted effort. But, like, you saw that Wanda Sykes thing with Larry David, and they got a whole website because of Wanda Sykes and Larry David, where it's literally bring a white guy to the doctor's office with you, and Larry David just gives, like, generalized answers to questions, like medical questions that are actually taught in med school. Like, in med school, they'll teach you that he has a higher pain tolerance than you do. And if it was a female, even higher than that.
See, white people was made by separation. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a principle that they use in all their dealings.
You look at my kids, like, none of them have those
Alright.
features, right? But
We back in.
my kids is with women with.
But look, before we even get to what happened, right? We could just deal with the part of the island of Patmos, right? Just figuratively, right? White people had to go be isolated in Europe to become white. Like, if they was mixing with Asian people, they wouldn't be white. If they was mixing with black people, they wouldn't be white. You see what I'm saying? Because when you see them mixed with white people, with these people right now, it comes out a little bit different. You understand what I'm saying?
It's true.
It had to come from isolation. No matter whether you haven't gotten into the science of what we teach about it, but I'm saying, even if you come from the theory of evolution, right? White people come from separation. So they see their success is maintaining that separation. You see what I'm
That's why
saying?
white people tend to
Between them and other people and amongst themselves. See, over here, because, see, in America, all the different Europeans became, just white people. They just became Americans. So, to us, we see them as one mass of people, white people. You see what I'm saying? So just like you said, look, when you walk in, we first see you as a white person. And so you say, you like all the other white people until you say something different. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But white people hate each other. They do, man. The French can't stand the British can't stand the Irish, the Russians can't stand none of them. You understand what I'm saying? Remember, the word slave comes from Slav. You understand what I'm saying? White people were so good at enslaving each other, that's why it was a breeze when they got away. You see what I'm saying? They've been torturing each other for thousands of years. So that's how they know exactly how much they could whip a slave, right? Show you the lesson, and still have you in the field tomorrow doing the regular work. Because they already practiced on each other. You see what I'm saying? White people was, before they came, amongst the original people, they was busy having things like the 100 Years War and the War of the Roses. You know, what's that thing that people was looking at not too long ago? It was a show where people was fighting back and forth with the Lannisters and the
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
I never watched it.
Right, but look, I don't know the name because I didn't watch it that much myself. But what I'm saying is that that's about a real story
Yeah.
where the War of the Roses, they really going back and forth like that, killing each other's kids and stuff like that, killing kids in their own family. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these things, what they doing, you know, see what they're able to do. White people, they come under certain banners. Like they can come under the banner of Christianity, right, to deal with the Crusades. You understand what I'm saying? Or to deal with getting the Moors out of Europe. We can come under certain banners. Or we'll come under the banners of we're the royal, right, of democracy. See? You catching on. You catching on. You see what I'm saying? That's a banner that all these different white people that really don't like each other and really don't get along have all different interests, but we can come together under this banner of democracy, especially when we're doing the fear mongering, right, that we was talking about earlier, and we have these evil monsters out there that we need to protect democracy against. You see what I'm
I've
saying?
seen them take out democratically elected people and call that democracy.
Well, see, this is the thing with democracy, and it's always been that way. You know, the issue with democracy is that the elite is always a few. This is never, 70% of the people is elite. You know what I'm saying? If 70%, that's what I'm saying. If 70% of the people is elite, then they're right. That's not an elite thing. So the elite is always a minority, right? So in a democracy, the power is with the majority. So that's always been the problem with democracy. Now I'm saying, just going according to those writings, you know what I'm saying? If you study the different political discourses, right? The Greeks dealt with democracy. So in order to solve that issue, right, that we the elite, how are we gonna stop these people from just voting to take our stuff? And what if they just vote, look, what if we just vote, we just put it on the ballot, we're gonna take all Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos' money.
Well, that's why we don't actually have a democracy. We live in a democratic republic.
Right. Now that's my point. Is that the Greeks decided that the way we're gonna stop that from happening is give the other people more. Give them enough so that they don't feel they need to take our stuff. You understand what I'm saying? But when it got to America, now they go the opposite way and say, "Now we give them nothing. We gonna just we gonna restrict their freedom and their rights, yeah, and we're going to restrict the democracy so that they're not able to do that."
Because you realize if you're not a member of the electoral college, you don't actually vote for any president. I mean, you vote for local politics, which actually matters more than the president. Most people don't vote in local politics, but that's how you actually gain community control of your own neighborhood.
And
They
not
try
just that.
preaching that shit like
But even you gotta remember this too. Originally, the people, right, only voted for Congress. They started voting for senators sometime in the early 1900s. But the senators was really appointed and they was voted for in the state legislatures. And they sent their 2 senators. That's why back in the day, governors, like the governors in Alabama and Mississippi and all those places was so much more powerful. You see what I'm saying?
The whole system is crazy.
Yeah.
You need a good bloodletting to shake things up. A couple
Well-
hundred years ago, some of these leaders would have been beheaded in the town
See,
square.
now look, I'm gonna tell you what it is too, though. What happens, in my opinion, this is something that see, like right now, if something happens, right, to a certain degree, right, this virus comes out, the stock markets crash, and we a little bit upset about that. See, we like, yo, man, what's going on? Master's house is on fire, man. what we's gonna do? You know what I'm saying? But see, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes Master fall flat on his face, and what we do? We pick him right up. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's a mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, put like this. Every community that collapses, right? Every community that's collapsed since, let's say, the 60s, right?
Yeah.
We could just say, okay, well, now that this is down at rock bottom, we could let's build it from right here.
Yeah, because after the stock market's done crashing,
Right.
stocks are cheap now.
But what do we do? What do we do?
Build it right back.
We say, Master, we's knees and hands out to get back on our feet. And we get right back in the situation where we was. You understand what I'm saying?
So we could use that moment to like take over.
Yeah. That's
when we should start planting gardens and fields and shit, right?
Yeah, those are the things that happen. Right. Like, see, some place like Detroit, yeah, it's nobody there policing it. Like, if you decided you was going to go and, build something up, what are they going to do? You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying that historically, these are things that happen. One of the things that happened in the American Revolution, right, is what's this guy's name? King George was having a war, I think, with France, right? And he needed money because of how much money they were spending. And that's when they started taxing all the colonies.
Yeah, it was to pay for the French-Indian War.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Being fought here.
Right. Now.
But they didn't want to pay for their own war.
Right. Now, the people who became the Americans, George Washington and them, they seized on that weakness. Now, the French Revolution, right? The French king spent all his money helping the Americans because he was mad that he lost to the British. So he spent his money on helping the American Revolution, and that's why he couldn't feed his people, and they revolted against him. See, they didn't say, "Nah, Master, we gonna put you back on your feet, Master." See, that's what we do, sir. Because see, that's what the when you're dealing with a democracy, right? That everybody got power, and when you vote, right, you invest your power in this person that you vote for. So when enough of us vote for that person, then this person is assuming, right, our rights and responsibilities. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we could just put like this. You really want to make a difference? If nobody shows up to vote, then you'll see some serious change.
Really?
Yeah. If nobody showed up.
Because we're not offering anybody our power?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
And on top of that, the person could never be legitimate.
The only thing is that you need that to be absolute before one person shows up and then sways the vote. That's the only problem with that.
But look, even if one person does it, I'm saying if you have an election right now for the president, right, and 10,000 people show up, he's not the duly elected president. Like, he can say he has the numbers, but everybody know he's gonna have trouble holding it down.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm proud to say I never voted in my life.
Well, for president, you don't vote anyway. You cast an opinion for president. The Electoral College is under no legal obligation to vote in favor of who the people voted for. So, say the entire state of New York, right? Every single person, for some fucking reason, just agrees and votes for person A, and the Electoral College goes, I think I'm going with B. There's no legal ramifications to that. It's perfectly legal.
Mm.
So it's not actually the people that vote, it's just the Electoral College. Local politics is different though. Because if you want like a borough president, you know what I mean? Which
So
is
that's
why
where
like,
that's
like
where you actually have control, huh?
yeah, because for local stuff, to actually like take ownership of your own community and vote somebody to be like the district whatever person that does the thing to actually represent who's in the community as opposed to like just somebody who's putting another job on their resume.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's when it actually makes a difference. But for president, especially if you're like in the really lower rungs of societies, none of them are really gonna have your best interests at heart anyway.
Probably not.
Yeah. I tend to, I don't really vote for president, but I tend to root for whoever I think is gonna be like the more entertaining president. Because whatever they promise, they still have to actually push it through, and it's not gonna get pushed through if it's too, you know, like cancel student debt, that probably wasn't gonna really happen. You know what I mean? Universal health care, it should happen. We're the only quote unquote civilized nation that does not have it, but who knows if it would have got pushed through. I wanted him personally, I wanted Sanders for president because he promised Larry David that he would have a job on Saturday Night Live for 4 years. And I would have really liked to see Larry David playing Bernie Sanders for 4 years. I think that would have been great. You know what I mean? But, like, they all do the same shit more. You know?
Yeah, so I would say I ain't never
You were
listened.
saying Larry Davis before I thought you were speaking about somebody.
Larry
You
Davis.
was thinking
from
Larry
the Bronx?
Davis?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
I think that man, I would have voted for that man, Larry Davis.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, everybody's laughing how they said Trump is the most entertaining.
He's fucking entertaining. Did you not see
I mean,
Alec
look,
Baldwin playing him on Saturday Night Live?
let me look. I'm gonna tell y'all like this, man. You know, I'm from the generation, man, that you know Trump was our guy at one time, man.
Yeah,
And
how many shout outs did he give
You're
us?
right. If you go back to
Kiss
the
for the
80s
black
and 90s, yeah, everybody was the black Trump, and yo, you get your meat lump like Trump, and yo, I'm rolling like Trump, I got money like Trump. You understand what I'm saying? You know, look, I've been around Donald Trump all my life, man. I'm from New York. He's not that dangerous to me. You know what I'm
His
saying?
followers are dangerous is the only problem.
All right, now we get into the point of what I'm saying.
He's also fucking embarrassing.
Here's the point of what I'm saying. No, but here's the thing though. 50 million people voted for Trump.
And that's embarrassing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is who's more dangerous, Trump
Or them 50 million
or the
people.
50 million people who's going to continue to vote and breed and have children and plant the seeds in them? You understand what I'm saying? See, if you under the impression that somehow Trump with his red hat, he came out and turned these people that way.
Nah, they was always like that.
Yeah,
They
right.
wasn't to say anything.
Yeah, and you know, you could say Trump encouraged them, you know, but no,
He didn't really encourage them, he just made them feel comfortable.
Society has just reached the point where it's like this. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, everybody came out and started saying how they feel, but at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, you know, the same way I told people, look, man, you know, Obama is just a pawn that's in there. You understand what I'm
He
saying?
was well spoken though. Like when you hear him make a speech, you feel like other countries aren't looking at you personally like you're a fucking idiot. When this jackass makes a speech, I dead feel like all of Germany is looking at me personally
I feel like that,
and
too.
thinking that I am an idiot because this guy's making a speech on my behalf on a world stage. That's just fucking embarrassing. Like,
Nah, man. Well, see, I didn't think Obama was speaking for me. I didn't think Jimmy
no,
Carter.
I'm
or
not
Ronald
saying they
Reagan-
were speaking for me, but they were speaking well enough, like putting sentences together. You know, like when you hear Obama speak, you go, there's a guy who went to college, when you hear Trump speak, you're like, there's a guy who probably eats crayons. And because he's the leader of our nation, you get people in other countries, you know, like fucking pick one, it doesn't even matter. Turkey, right? When Turkey sees a guy who knows how to put together a sentence, make a speech, they go, those Americans must be about their shit. When he sees a guy come out with like a fucked up tan in a can spray job and like there's like lawsuits about the size of his penis and then he had to withdraw because he found out he would have had to prove it.
I'm saying
He can't put a sentence together. Like it's embarrassing. Like they're looking at us like, yo,
I don't
Americans probably eat crayons.
I don't think the other leaders, right? I don't think they're thinking that because first of all, I think a lot of them are dumb too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, especially when you get to like those royal inbred people. But you know, on top of that, it's like, look, they all know what they doing, man. Like he's just another personality that's in the room. Like, I mean, you know, I was there with Ronald Reagan. I don't really see that much difference, man. Like I remember when Ronald Reagan first got elected, and this dude came to our house and told us that Ronald Reagan was the devil because Ronald Wilson Reagan, each one of those words got 6 letters. So he was 666. He
I
was,
heard that before.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I've been through all of this before. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, I mean, Reaganomics was bad, right? For the square. Reaganomics was bad for the person who, you know, you was just trying to make an honest dollar. You know what I'm saying? But when you hear all these stories of all these people that was getting rich in the hood, you understand what I'm saying? From, yo, that was during Reaganomics.
That was Reaganomics too, because what was they getting rich off? Crack.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was Reaganomics too. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, these things, you know, whoever's the president, look, I've never seen the president come in, right, and reverse course.
That's
Like, I ain't never seen
But
the
that's not their
president
job to
come
do it
in
either.
and say, look, I undeclare war on you. The last president declared, I undeclare war.
It's usually called losing.
wasn't
We haven't actually been at war since World War II. The rest of those are just police military actions.
Reagan was he the one that put that law out about, you know,
Catch it being a vegetable?
the law about when the crack epidemic ever was out, that, you know what I'm saying, if you got caught with,
You talking about the crime bill?
you know,
That was Biden.
he put that law like a that crack epidemic era, like if you get caught with certain amount that you was gonna do life or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
He put that law
Rockefeller.
out. There's still people incarcerated to
Yeah.
this.
The Rockefeller Act,
Yeah, the
right?
Rockefeller
Yeah.
law.
But
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying though. When Clinton came in, even though he ran against him, he
Did the
piled
same
on.
shit,
He
yeah.
piled on even more. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I've never seen them change course. You know what I'm saying? So what that's telling me, at least, right? My inductive reasoning here, right, is that it's really something else driving the ship here. You understand what I'm saying? If I see different people come, I see different bodies, and they all doing the same thing, that means the idea is coming from someplace else. And these people is just living it out. You see what I mean?
It's all a really good moneymaker too.
Yeah.
Because like the whole every gear just fits perfectly the way the fucking machine works. Because like most people, look, if I tell you, yo, I'll help you out and I don't know, fucking whatever, teach you how to wash socks, right?
Right.
You gonna vote for me? Maybe you will, maybe you won't, right? Who knows? Depends on how bad you want to learn to wash socks. But if I tell you that I will keep these two motherfuckers from kicking down your door and raping your wife, you're probably gonna vote for me, right? But now I gotta make good on that. So now I gotta arrest these two for, I don't know, he's got his fucking hat slightly to the side. It's fucking illegal now, go to jail, right? Now that makes me look effective. Plus I generate all that fucking money because it's private prisons. You know what I mean? It's like your tax dollars is just going into somebody's hands. Plus, you got the loophole in the 13th Amendment. So now you're getting cheap labor to make shit like fucking aglets on sneakers. These shits is made in prison. You know what I mean? It ain't just license plates and fucking pebbles at the quarry. It's all kinds of household products. So it's a really, it's a fucking genius business model is what it is.
They going
Good business.
every single piece just fucking money.
Wise,
money.
I let y'all talk in the room, Wise, cause the last couple lives, man, I'll be over here teaching y'all be on y'all own stuff, man. Yeah, I let y'all go in. But Jasim brought up a good point here. He said if the U.S. is a corporation and we keep changing CEOs, who's the board of directors?
I'm pretty sure it's like some dude in a table with like deep mahogany wood, right? Smoking little tiny cigarettes, just like in the movies.
See, to my knowledge,
It's just different.
It's
Interest groups need money.
whenever Rockefeller, Carnegie, Morgan,
Rothschild,
right,
J. Electronica.
all those railroad guys too, you understand what I'm saying? When they started putting up their money to get a certain president elected, you know, that's when it came down to this small group of people that's, you know, if not related, connected. You understand what I'm saying? So
Most of them actually are related though.
yeah, a lot of them be
it actually
related.
is
That's
a
what I'm
little
saying.
funny.
Yeah,
it's
you
a
understand what I
little
mean?
It's fucking weird.
But they're definitely connected. You understand what I'm saying? And they're definitely all in there. You know, like say like the bar, right? The bar is he's from Africa, right? Now see over there, if the leadership changes, the people who's rich in the country and everything change.
Yeah, the whole shit is.
Yeah, because this dude's from a different tribe. He's about to take on you. You got to get out the country. If you got money and you're not in his tribe.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But if you see the same people just getting more and more and more and more money,
Lets you know that the same tribe keeps winning that war.
and it lets you know, right, that a lot of this stuff is BS, right? And it's not you know, it's not happenstance. It's not loopholes. You know what I'm saying? It's the plan. Meaning, like when you were saying with the 13th Amendment, that's not a loophole.
Well, it was a loophole that's written in. So it's like, well, we're gonna make slavery illegal, but how can we continue it though? We gotta make it
Right,
loophole
they had to write
that it's
that
still
in.
legal.
They
So,
had to-
well, accept this punishment. Well, what are we punishing him for? Well, I don't know. What's he doing? Oh, he sneezed too loud. Yo, you violating sound ordinances. Go to jail. And while you're there, make some phone calls with this telemarketing company that's paying me to hire you, and I won't be paying you for. I think it's 60-something cents a day.
Nah, they make like 15.
Yeah, it's like
Per day, yeah, it might be.
Yeah, it's like some stupid low, like you're gonna have to work a full work week just to wash your ass with some commissary soap at the end of the week. It's a fucked up situation, yo.
Slavery.
But see, this is what I'm saying. When you look at that whole situation right now, look, if you notice, nobody paid reparations. You know what I'm saying? Nobody went to jail for war crimes.
Well, even in the history books, you have slavery that somehow doesn't have any slave masters. You have this thing that's spoken about in all these American history textbooks, like, you know, like in school and shit, right? And not in a single one of those that I ever read my whole career did I ever see. So this is this fucked up shit that happened, and here's who's responsible. It's always, this is some fucked up shit that happened, and this is some fucked up shit that happened. It's like, okay, but who's responsible? They're not naming names. You know what I'm saying? They're not saying, no, this is who did it.
They tell you, you know what I'm saying, but they tell you about the benevolent guys.
Yeah, they tell you that Thomas Jefferson,
You know,
had
like,
a romantic relationship
and one time
with one of his dark-skinned familiars.
The funniest one. I mean, it's not funny, you know. I guess in retrospect, looking back, But they told us that one time George Washington was a little bit strapped for cash. So one of his overseers, he knew he was strapped for cash or whatever, so he had went and cut a deal to sell some of his slaves. You know what I'm saying? So whatever happened, George Washington happened to see him leaving the plantation with the slaves. He's like, yo, what you doing? He's like, yeah, I'm going to sell them, man, so I can get some loot so you can handle that out. So George Washington says, nah, don't worry about it. I just handle it however I gotta handle it. You know what I mean? I don't want you to sell them because you might sell them to a slave master that's cruel. And so I don't want that to happen to them. So leave them here so I can treat them nice.
You know, freeing them wasn't an option though, right?
And
That's
that
you get extra peanuts at the end of the
yeah,
day.
but see, that's the type of, you know, when you know, indoctrinated with that kind of, you understand what I'm saying?
Well, one of the things that I read in the textbook was that after the Civil War, former slaves had trouble feeding themselves because they didn't know how to farm. Which of course begs the question, what the fuck were they doing on the plantation?
Yeah,
Just singing
exactly.
and
They was
dancing?
doing all that.
It's a lot of farming. I feel like they might have figured it out. And if they don't know how to farm, what the fuck did you buy them for?
It was that they started giving them the worst parts of the land.
They knew how to farm. They just weren't allowed to. It's not they didn't know how to. They weren't allowed to.
No, I think they
Yeah.
That's what sharecropping was about. You allowed to do it, but
gave them
I
land.
read
Maybe
that.
that
I read
time.
that in a book. What you
They
said.
probably
Yeah.
gave
Just
them,
now they gave him the worst part of the
yeah,
land.
some land you can't even
Mhm.
farm.
yeah.
And then, you know, eventually, that kind of thing is what led up to migrations to the north. Is that during the Great Depression, right? One thing America had in abundance was food. So in order to bring the economy back, they wanted to raise the price of food. You know what I'm saying? So in order to do that, they need to cut the supply. You know what I'm saying? So what they started doing is paying farmers not to farm on all of their land. So the parts of the land that they stopped farming was the sharecropping parts. So now brothers ain't, you know, you got no way to exist now. Gotta go up north and try to get a job in one of those
And that's
factories.
actually more lucrative for the rich too, because like, okay, think about it. Say I own you, right?
Yeah.
Who's responsible for housing you?
You?
Who's responsible for feeding you?
You?
If you get sick,
You?
you break a bone.
Yeah.
If I don't own you, but I employ you, and I also own an apartment building, and I also own the grocery store, and I also own some stock in some pharmaceutical company, who's responsible for solving all of your problems that happen on your personal time, buddy?
Me.
And who's benefiting from everything that you gotta pay for to solve your problems?
You.
I make more money off of you if you're free than if you're a slave. Some crazy shit, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah, because now I'm not responsible for none of your shit. Oh, you
See,
sick?
but
Sorry,
see,
you didn't work
that's
enough
the-
hours to get healthcare.
That's the original science though. Is that, and see look, and this is something that is very, you know, they'll tell you that they fought the Civil War over the slaves, right?
The hell no.
Nah, it's true to this degree. The Civil War was fought over resources and how they was gonna make money off of those resources. And the number one resource was black people. You understand what I'm saying?
More lucrative as being free than as slave. So it wasn't like an altruistic thing.
But
Abe
only,
Lincoln was racist as fuck.
only to the people who had that plan.
Yeah.
The people who had the industrial plan was saying, look, we'll make more money like this. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the slaveholders are saying, look, we already got these machines right here. Why we want to spend money on some new machines? You see what I'm saying? But you gotta remember, it wasn't just that. It's also that as they expanding out west, they're finding gold and silver all over the place. You know what I'm saying? They start finding oil and all this other stuff. So now it comes down to, all right, who this stuff belongs to. That's what a part of that states' rights stuff is. The states were saying, this is our stuff. And the federal government was saying, nah. That belongs to the federal government. You understand what I'm saying? So even with slavery, right? In slavery, the people was transferred from private ownership to public ownership. They wasn't really free. They was just set to public ownership. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why, remember, like in the early 2000s, they said they had to renew our right to vote. Why would you have to do that if, you know, all these other things right here say that we citizens and that citizens have the right to vote? Like, why would you have to renew our right to vote? See, what that meant is, you know, we're gonna be monitoring you. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all won't do what we like, then we might have to revoke your privileges.
It's fucking diabolical, yo.
But I wanted to ask you a question, right? As far as like that independence war that you were speaking about, they were saying that the white people had, you know, the black people enslaved, so now that they was fighting for the independent war, whatever the case may be, they was also fighting for, because they was feeling that the black people was gonna take their job because the white people didn't know what to, they didn't have no skills of doing everything because the black people was doing all the labor.
Yeah,
You
now
ever heard about that?
that's you coming up to this is actually post-slavery and Reconstruction.
Yeah.
This is during the Reconstruction period. You know what I'm saying? This is when they start instituting licensing and stuff like that comes out at that time.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So even to this day right now, you know how you got in the unions, right? That you have a brother that he does the job, like he do the job for years, but they don't let him in the union so that his pay and his benefits rise to a certain level. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was the same way where, you know, they started the licensing system. You see what I mean? So that, you know, if you can't pass the test or you're not, because if you notice with those unions, right, they very family oriented. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta know somebody in your family, you know, your father or your uncle or somebody pulls you into the union. So if you don't have the, you know, because that's constantly what they doing. You know what I mean? At least since 1865, right, is they had to constantly find new terminology to define a slave. You understand what I'm saying? And they have to adjust the criteria. You see what I'm saying? So they'll go from, you know, well, black people can't vote, right? To, okay, black people could vote, but we're gonna pass this other statute right here, right? That in order to vote though, right, you got the right to vote, but you have to prove that your grandfather voted.
It doesn't even make sense if it was illegal for your grandfather to vote.
You understand what I'm saying? But see, we've redefined why we're oppressing you. You see what I'm saying? And in the redefinition, it's justified. You see what I'm saying? Just like they started with the, you know, special education and all of that, once you had integration in the schools. You see what I'm saying? We need another reason to still keep y'all separate, even inside the building. We'll let y'all in the same building now, but we're gonna keep y'all separate within the building. You know what I mean? Even to the point where, y'all ever seen the story of that school, it's either in Arkansas or Texas or Louisiana or something, right? It's a school where they had separate proms. Like the school had black kids and white kids in it, but they had separate proms for the white kids and the black kids.
So another form of segregation.
Yeah, but we redefined it under different terminology that now we seem justified in doing it. You see what I'm saying? We're not doing it because of that, we're doing it because of this.
Okay, got you.
Well, I had a student one time that when we was doing the usual February shit that you do in schools, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say Rosa Parks' name a couple times and then test prep until March, right? So we teaching them about desegregation in schools, and this was a 5th grade special ed kid that he dead ass looked around the room when we said desegregation. He said, "Why are you lying?" And we went into like a whole conversation about like, okay, so it's not illegal for white people to send their kid to this shitty South Bronx school that we're in right now, but why would they want to? And then we explained how like redlining works and how schools get funded based on property tax and how they purposely devalue property in certain neighborhoods. And it's like a whole fucking what's the word for those machines where you put the marble in and then like 20 mechanisms later the boot comes and kicks somebody?
Rube Goldberg.
Yeah, Rube Goldberg. The whole thing is one of those. It probably would have just been a lot easier to go, no, the schools are segregated. And honestly, it would have been better for black people to maintain segregation, because when you can't go to a white doctor, who do you have to go to? When you can't go pay a white person to do something, who do you have to pay? It forces you to actually support your own community. But on a worldwide scale, black people are so brainwashed that they will rather
That was one
get
of
a
the,
white person to do some shit.
that was one of the reasons, you know, like when you have a bill, right? They vote for it for a law. Each person that vote for it don't necessarily vote for it for the same reason. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, when they make a military plane or something, right? They make some of the parts in a whole bunch of different states. So those senators or congressmen or whatever have a reason to sign on to the bill,
Yes, that
because
point.
then they can go back to their people and say, look, I signed this bill and I got us these jobs. You understand what I'm saying? So each people, when they giving their speeches up there, right, they persuading the different people, but different people sign on for different reasons. And one of the reasons that a lot of the white people signed on to the Civil Rights Bill and all the desegregation stuff, right, was because white America was in a recession. They was starting to spend too much money. The World War II economy was dying out. You know what I'm saying? Then they was spending all the secret money in Vietnam. They started to do, you know, all this different welfare stuff. The Social Security payments is starting to kick in. So they needed to tap into that money that was being hoarded in the black community. Because like you said, you didn't have anywhere else to put it. You could only circulate it right here in the community. So in order to tap into that,
So they voted for black rights to extract their wealth,
yeah,
because now they can come into white businesses.
yeah. And
I
there's,
mean-
and there's actual instructive videos that was made.
How to sell to the Negro.
Yeah, and how to sell stuff to black people. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Those videos are real too, and it talks about like just the psychology of selling to black people, and the number
Yeah,
one
I
thing
seen-
they
I
all
seen
say,
those videos.
am I lying? The number one thing they all say is make him feel like you're selling him the same shit you sell white people. Even if it's not as good as the shit he normally buys. Make him feel like he's buying white people quality shit, and he gonna wanna buy more of it. Some crazy shit how that works though.
Yeah.
But what's funny is, see dude right there, Elijah Muhammad, I mean, he was preaching for us to have wealth of our own, land of our own, farm of our own, and the of our own thing is important. That's what made him so dangerous, is he was preaching segregation. He was like, they don't want us, fine, cool. Stay over there, we got this. You know what I'm saying? Because it actually is economically better for us.
That's
Like the only reason that, like, you see Dominicans own mad shit, and the only reason that Dominicans own mad shit is because Dominicans are segregated as fuck. Dominicans shop at Dominican businesses, they do business with other Dominicans, they pitch in and buy shit so that they own
Jews.
stuff. Yeah, same thing, and that's the only reason. That's why, if you look at the city, who's got more money, Dominicans or Puerto Ricans as a whole?
Night Owl brought up a point here. I want to see what he
They got all the
adds on
bodegas
here. He said,
and
what about
because
the
in their country? You know
what
I'm
about
saying?
the
That
preschool
money,
to prison
that $1
pipeline?
worth like 6.
Oh hell yeah, son! That shit is built in. That shit is built in. I got in trouble in my career for trying to fight against that shit. Even the food is supplied by the same companies in jail and in school. It's the same food suppliers.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah,
I knew
it's
that
the same
was
food
nasty.
suppliers. Yeah. Shit tastes like Rikers Island.
How you know?
I never wanted to eat that. That cafeteria food is nasty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same companies that supply it, and a lot of the people that they hire have a very us versus them mentality. Like I was never popular with my
So hold on.
coworkers
So you saying the
because of shit like
same
that.
food that they got in the jail? That's who supplies it?
It's the same companies. I forget the names of the companies, but that pink slime shit that you eat on Rikers, and the pink slime shit that you eat in fucking Truman, same shit.
Probably cold crab.
Yeah. It's crazy though too, and like a lot of it is real subtle too. There's also a disproportionate amount of teachers whose husband is a cop. And you know what they say, like you're gonna attract, every career attracts a certain type of person, and certain types of people attract each other. And I think that there's something to be said about the fact that like a disproportionate amount of teachers that I worked with were in romantic relationships with cops. You know what I mean? It was like if you ask us, if you go to Parliament and you ask everybody, what does your earth do? What does your God do? What does your earth do? What does your God do? You're not gonna see like a higher number one way or the other. Everybody's just kind of, he has a job that pays bills. That's what he does, right? But you ask teachers, yo, matter like half or more, all of them relationships with cops, yo. And a lot of them have that us versus them mentality.
You know
what
what
I'm saying?
I know what you're talking about. I heard that concept used with conviction rates in the city though. That like Staten Island, they got the highest conviction rate, right? But they got the highest concentration of people that deal with law enforcement in the city. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in the Bronx is the lowest conviction rate because, you know,
Fuck
people,
the police.
yeah, people in the Bronx don't trust, like, you know, if the police say, yeah, you know, we came in and, you know, he had the gun just hanging out.
Nah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, people in the Bronx gonna be like, yeah, all right.
Nice try, officer.
Yeah. Whereas in Staten Island, they much more likely to have that type of mindset. You see what I'm saying? But I never looked at it from the perspective of what he's saying.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and that's
saying?
who's raising you fucking kids, and that shit is scary. Like, I worked in that industry for 11 years, and I seen some shit. Like, I seen some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's scary, like, the mentalities that they have, and, like, there's this very, like, guilty until proven innocent. Right? Like, okay, so I
When
had
they
this
set
one
up a
kid.
trial for you.
I had this one student, right? I'm not gonna mention his name because we're on camera, but I'm still friends with him, right? And he came into school in 6th grade, and all the staff, except for like one dude that lived in the projects in Coney Island, right? And another one that lived in Edenwald, and me, and that was it. The only 3 staff that was not like, oh my God, this kid's gonna be so wild. And when he was in 3rd grade, he punched his principal in the face, and he's a savage hooligan. And it was only like 3 of us that was like, what was your face doing within striking distance of an 8-year-old? I feel like there might have been 2 people at fault in this equation. You know what I mean? But that's like how you supposed to help a kid not be the type of person that punches people in the face when you're hiring people to teach him, where like over 90% are just, they read it, that's it, that's all they know, that's all they need to know. Like, it's few and far between, right? Like, I got a friend right now that works as a para up in I think it's 6, right? And she's like, yo, when they try to tell me about students in the beginning of the year, I'm just like, la 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 la, I don't want to hear it. I know I don't need to see their record of what they got in trouble for. Like, whoever they were with you, let that be between you and them. They gonna be somebody else with me, watch, and the kids are somebody else with her. You know what I'm saying? But that's few and far between. So you get conditioned, and I've watched this shit happen from kindergartners all the way up to 12th grade. You get conditioned to be treated like an inmate.
But it's like
You know?
like the police sometimes they pull you over, and if you got a record, you're guilty. You know, it's like the same thing.
Yeah, and it's crazy, yo. Like, there's very little being taught of like actual life shit that you're gonna need. You know, and I used to get in trouble, like a lot of trouble, for trying to teach life shit.
It's inefficient. It's you know, at the end of the day, the police, the teachers, those are still businesses. You know what I'm saying? And from the top, they, you know, you having some type of emotional feeling for these people and going the extra mile, that's inefficient. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, processing like beef.
Yeah, we paying you for that time. Yeah, so you gotta just process these people, get them through the lines. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, but we don't have time for you to be caring. You know what I'm saying about these people. You know what I mean? We producing a product. You know what I'm saying? The school is producing people with a piece of paper. The jail is producing people for you to lock up.
And it's run mostly by people who, they're more concerned with their career than their job.
Right.
And I've seen that shit time and time and time and time again.
I see that.
I see, you know, well, back to where you was going, I see what you was talking about, right? Because, like, when you be, like, in an institutional system, right? It's sort of like the school, like, because you hear the bell,
Yup.
lunchtime, child time.
You're already used to it.
Or yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they getting you prepared to be institutionalized
Yup.
from educating you, but then it's like a jail because it's like the same thing that they do in school, they do it in
Same
jail.
routine.
The same routine.
You know what my mother used to tell me? When I used to, like, cause I used to cut school to go to the library, right?
Uh-huh.
And my mother used to tell me when I was in, she was like, alright, cause I was boarding school. I ain't learning shit. Right? She used to tell me, you're not in school to learn. That's ridiculous. Like, why would you even think that? If you want to learn, there's a library right up the block. You should pretty much know everything. By September, you should already know everything they're gonna teach you up until June. What you are in school for is to be trained to sit quietly in neat little rows, doing mindless busy work for a person that you hate their fucking guts. Why? So that when you grow up and get a job, you know how to sit quietly in neat little rows, doing mindless busy work for a person that you fucking hate. If you wanna learn, school's not the place to do that. And I learned real quickly working in schools that if you want to teach, school is not the place to do that. And that shit is real. Like, you'd be amazed at some of the shit that I got in trouble for. I got in trouble for telling a 17-year-old 8th grader, yo, I went to college with a GED. If I could do it, you could do it. Let me look up some programs for you. It's my lunch break. Let me look up some GED programs.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
You got in trouble?
Yeah, the principal was like, oh, you're trying to convince him to drop out. And she was trying to get the kid to like snitch on me. But the kid dead sat there and went, they age you out at 20. I'm in 8th grade, 17. Do the math. I'm not gonna waste 3 years of my life sitting in a high school classroom just for at the end of it for them to go, sorry son, you're too old. For all of that, just take a GED, 6 months, right? You take your GED, and then boom, from there, if you actually do what you gotta do in the GED classes and bust your ass and learn some shit, from there you go straight into college. You go from being the oldest one in class to being the youngest one in class. You know what I'm saying? And because I was telling the kid that, they were like, oh, he's encouraging people to drop out of school. Nah, I'm seeing somebody who's gonna have to drop out of school and I'm trying to help him get into college. You know what I mean?
Before it's too late.
Exactly. Because if he gets aged out, he gonna be like, fuck this. Because now I just wasted 3 years and I gotta do this GED
But
anyway.
he
Fuck
was
it.
17 in what grade?
8th grade. He
Whoa.
moved around a lot. So he didn't do 4 years in
Yeah,
school.
that's really old.
Yeah. Well, he moved around a lot, so he didn't do 4 years in school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I even tried to help him get jobs and shit. At, like,
Dude, if you're 17 and you're in 8th grade, they should be getting in trouble for not telling you to get your GED.
Yeah, dead ass. But the thing is they gotta toe the company line, and the company line is the only thing that matters is getting a formal education. Even though you're gonna end up with like $100,000 of student debt and a degree in fucking some unhirable shit, right? They never tell you, yo, plumbers ain't never broke. Go to plumbing school. They never tell you electricians never broke. Go to trade school. They never tell you that shit,
Yeah.
right? Instead, they tell you, you should get an advanced degree in Egyptian basket weaving history interpretations.
Yeah.
What the fuck you supposed to do with that debt? You ain't gonna pay that shit back ever, because no one's gonna fucking hire you in this nonsense field that you went and studied in college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
I gotta run to the bathroom. Which way is the
This way,
bathroom?
this way.
Yeah, it's right back there to the right.
The last door.
Alright, man. Let's see who we got in here, man. What did I miss in here in the room? What did I miss in here in the room?
Yeah, and no, and it's crazy too, right? Because I was gonna say that, like in the neighborhood, like
See,
the
y'all been
Brownsville,
going
like
in,
where my
man.
sister live at, you know, like if the police stop you, right? They got like stands or whatever. Even
I
if you
saw
don't
that
have
Queen.
a
I saw that
criminal
Queen's ear when
record,
they arrested that little girl.
they put you
That
in
little
the,
girl
they put your
started
name in
crying.
the data. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Even if you ain't do nothing, I don't get that. You know what I mean? Even if you don't got a criminal record or anything like that, if you get stopped by the police, your name is going in the thing.
Yep. Because there's money in over criminalizing things. Because remember, prisons are privately owned. And they have contracts with these states. Yo, we need X amount of occupancy, or else y'all gotta pay us extra.
Wise bringing up the drugs from school, man. That is true, man. I'm telling you, they give those kids those pills and they start thinking that's the answer to all their problems.
Yo, that brings up another thing. Who brought it up? Wise?
Yeah.
Yo, Wise, alright. Check this story out. I had a kid that he was on ADHD meds, right? I forget which med it was specifically, but he was on a medication for ADHD, right? Now, first of all, the kid was melting Jolly Ranchers into his bummies every morning. I don't know that he had ADHD. He might have just been over sugared, right? So he didn't want to take his ADHD meds because he said they made him piss his pants. No junior high school kid wants to be the kid that pisses his pants, right? So I'm taking him to the nurse because my job is to take him to the nurse. He says he don't want to take the pills. I say, all right, you got to tell her that, and then we could go to wherever we're going, right? Principal pulls me aside, and she's like, well, I heard that you're not making him take his pills. I said, no, I'm not making him take anything. I'm bringing him to the nurse. He is then deciding what he wants to put into his body that's not my body. Long story short, the principal starts telling me to literally physically force the pills into his mouth, at which point I'm trying to explain to this woman, the second my finger goes past his lips, that's a rape charge. No thank you, I'm not doing that shit. She didn't fucking understand this concept of basic human respect for a person who doesn't want something in their body. But yeah, the attitude really is like, yo, even if they don't want it, fucking force it into them. And that shit is crazy, son, because that's fucking rape. Like that's what the definition of rape is. You're putting something in somebody that they said no to. That's some crazy shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all be going in the room, man. I can't keep up with y'all, man, when y'all on it like this. Y'all know I get caught up. Y'all know I get caught up and start talking back.
Oh shit. I can't front. I can't be following the comments on like live feeds. I get lost in them shits.
Yeah, yeah. But see, usually, well, in the class, I don't get to talk to them as much. You know what I'm saying? See, in my class, everybody's kind of still used to, everybody is used to the format. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people from my class, they came from, they saw this and then they came, so they already know. But, today we was just rolling.
How many people are on there?
Right now, 40.
Not bad.
Yeah, YouTube was sabotaging me. They been sabotaging me.
You cut your channel?
Yo, they been kicking me out the room. They kicked the subscribers out the room.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it got to like right now, right? I've been on this live for 2 hours. Yo, I couldn't get it live to go more than like 30 minutes.
Then you just shut it straight down?
Shut it down.
Yeah, they sabotaged.
What radical shit
and
was
I
you
noticed
saying?
that the last recording that we did Tuesday,
Yeah.
it was black and white, and then it came color, and then it
Yeah.
kept shutting down.
Yeah.
They
I
sabotaged it.
got the very last part.
Mhm.
I taped it, but I just ain't uploaded it yet. But yeah, I'm gonna get that uploaded. But yeah, it's about that time. I got a trip down to BK. You know what I mean? Shout out to Sunyez. Hopefully Sunyez
Doesn't catch coronavirus from that outbreak at Alma School, right?
Yeah, or whatever happened, man.
Whatever bullshit, they're closing all the schools down. Which is fucked up too, because if you got a kid that's school closed, how you supposed to go to work?
I don't think you going to work. That's right now.
It's not
man.
good for the economy, yo.
The way it's looking, man. I
I'm-
don't think they worried about that right
I'm
now.
trying to figure out what their goal is with all this, man. Like you say, they're ever exaggerating this problem. You're probably not gonna really die, none of us. But like, when they go through the extent of shutting down all these things like NBA and everything that's making money, what is the reason why they're shutting down these money making things?
You ever watch a
and,
magician?
and concerts and everything they shutting down.
You ever watch a magician?
Yeah.
What's going on here and what's going on here?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If the fact they're going to that extent and shutting down shit that's making them money,
But
they gotta
see,
be pulling something behind the scenes.
see,
you know?
now look, see, sometimes that's real simple though. It's this much, right? That look, if I build a platform for myself, right? I build a platform that's 2 feet high, right? We both 6 feet tall from the floor, but I build a platform for myself that's 2 feet high, right? I can flood the room now up to 7 feet. Now, yeah, it's gonna mess me up too, but I'm still gonna survive.
Oh shit.
You gonna die though.
Oh
You
damn.
understand what I'm saying? And that just so, yeah, like I said, we could do something where we all lose half our money. You gonna be bankrupt.
Damn.
Bill Gates is still gonna have $50 billion.
People are saying, remember how I said they got a picture of a patent? They say his name's on it.
Well, he has been doing that. He's been going, Bill Gates has been kicked out of several countries
Why?
because he's over there, they say he's over there talking about he's doing immunizations and sterilizing young women.
He's making them immune to pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's technically it's still an immunization,
Yeah,
right?
he got banned in India. He been banned in a couple places in Africa. You remember a couple years ago, he was going around talking about he got this, he wants to eliminate disease by doing all these vaccinations. Yeah, they found out it was all other type of stuff in the vaccinations, so they started kicking him out of mad countries. That's why you don't hear him talking about that too tough no more.
They might be trying to kill off the population, man.
I mean, they can, try to do a little population control,
it's always time for that. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of things is things that I don't think they, I don't think they worried about a lot of things. See, because one thing about white people, right? They know how to control a lot of people with a little bit of people. And see, England, they control the whole India. See, that's what's so powerful about ideas. You can't beat all those people back with sticks. You have to beat them back with ideas. They keep them frozen. Tonight I said, what kills me is all these heads and alive with knowledge of self, and we can't come together. Can't come together to generate wealth. Well, you should have been, earlier we was talking, Jasim and Joe Self, they was telling us about financial planning in Bitcoin. We was discussing a little stock market sciences and real estate and things of that nature.
Yo, you know what? I catch shit for this. I get told that this is a very 10%ery way of thinking, right? But follow the train of thought here, right? We're not a religion, but one could make the legal argument, well, fuck it, we are, right? At which point, any place where we go to hold quote unquote service is then considered a what?
Church.
And what is a church exempt from?
Tax.
Why are we not all living in churches? Why are there not more law schools that people personally own and live in?
See, because we're
There's a lot of money being left on the table with that.
see, we're more part of the community than the church. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not saying to act like the church, because like if you go to Flushing, 3 out of every 5 churches that you see in Flushing is just some Korean lady's house that she lives in with her family. It's not actually a church, it's just called a church for tax purposes. But you can look in the window and you can clearly see a family just eating dinner, and then you can watch that same family walk out of their house, go up the block, and go to the actual church, even though their house is designated as a church.
You know what I mean? If you're gonna have yourself, designated as a preacher to do all that, you know what I'm saying?
Because it's a lot of money that we're collectively just leaving on the table like that. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of stuff that we could probably be getting funding for. There's a lot of stuff that...
Now, see, and that's what I'm saying. In order to get that funding, you gotta be paying taxes. Like, you gotta show that you're a part of the community. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we here on this poor part of the planet Earth, like, see, we teach our people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we know the white man is the devil, but, any of them that's ready to be righteous, you see what I'm saying? Those are the ones that we deal with. You see what I'm saying? Because Musa came and taught them how to live a respectful life, you know what I'm saying, along with the deviltry. You see what I mean? So there's some that know about respect, Mayor Lindsay, Barry Goddard, you know what I'm saying, different people that we could go and deal with them with respect, and they'll deal with us with respect. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we stick with doing things in the natural way for us. So like that was one thing I noticed about you, is that when I said that at certain times, right, when they dealing with weakness, right, and then we could make a move. I see a lot of people would say, yeah, then we could attack them. But what you said was, yeah, we could plant crops and grow food and stuff then. You see what I'm saying? You got the right kind of mindset. You see what I'm saying? You could be righteous.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
You see what I'm saying?
And you see when you came through that door, You know, you asked me a question. I told you my name. I asked you your name. I treated you like I treated everybody else. I didn't come and attack you and say, you the devil, bye, get out of here. Or
Fuck
whatever.
out of here,
You know
devil.
what I'm saying? Nah.
Yeah,
You know, I treated you.
I appreciate that. Thank
There's a
you.
lot of
We not-
misconceptions about us. That's
It's
out
not.
in the
It's
world.
not. It's not about racism. This what we teach. We teach freedom, justice, and equality to all human families of the planet Earth. So, whoever's willing to be righteous and go according to our way of life, that's what we teach. This is what was taught to us, and this is what we pass on, and we try to teach everybody.
You'd be amazed at some of the misconceptions about what goes on here. Like, I've been asked.
I didn't get that. Like as soon as I looked into it, I started looking into it more. I didn't get that vibe from it really. I said this is a bunch of people who just wants the truth, you know, and they're trying to live in the truth, you know. So and the truth, there's nothing. Everything about hating a person for who they are is a lie. So you can't involve that with something that's truthful, you know.
I once got asked what it was like getting jumped into the NGE. Jumped in? The fuck are you talking about?
Crazy.
How do you join? Fucking show up. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
It's pro-righteous and how you say it, dog?
Anti-demolishment. Yeah,
That's what it is about.
And see, you're lucky. You met Darkim on a calm night. First time I met him, this motherfucker wants to go in on my name for like a half hour.
That's how I do. But
Yeah, well, what is your name, brother?
I never changed it. I just kept it as Rio because I could draw it up a couple ways. Like I used to draw it up like Yo Rio, 12th jewel, physical manifestation of it, right? But then I was speaking to Rashid.
Alfonso Brown.
Right?
What
And
is up?
I was walking past.
We ain't
him.
see Alfonso Brown.
He's gone. I said, yo, you Woody Quan? I said, yeah.
We ain't see Alfonso Brown since when, man?
I said, Rio. He goes, that's your real name? I said, yeah. I said, yo, it's perfect. Don't ever change it. I said, well, how you see it? And he was like, yo, well, think about what a river is and what it does. You bring in
You know, I
wisdom
got
from one
the
place.
501c3. The 501c3 that we using up here at the school is popping now.
And turn them into homeowners. So that's kind of taking
So
wisdom
I got a
from one
couple
place to
things.
another.
I got a couple
You know
things
what I'm
I'm getting
saying?
ready to do with that.
And as far
I'm
as like,
gonna get it a
also,
little more developed before I speak on it.
you know what I'm saying?
But I got a couple of
Fucking
things
work
coming
with
down the
kids,
pipe with
I
that.
work with people with mental disabilities and shit. You know, both cognitive and like just straight Lulu. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, nah, the name, keep the name. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. Wasn't gonna change it anyway, but it's nice to have another way to draw it up.
Yeah, right. We ain't see Alfonso Brown since the
Real.
Real Records
Real.
days.
Yeah,
Real?
yeah, R-I-O, Mullah Cypher. Which is another way you could draw it up too. Like, well, I'm in charge of my life.
They got rid of.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I get a lot of like flack for not having taken a different name. But a lot of people be getting it for it. Like I know Sukias used to get it for his name because people thought it was
said there, I
his.
thought you was, you know, I ain't know you was Puerto Rican, God.
Yeah, well, I didn't wear my flag today.
You know?
But yeah, you know how that
I
shit
thought you was
goes.
like him.
Alright.
You know? But
Cab drivers
Brown
not
said,
but you know,
how that work.
that's why today's mathematics is knowledge, wisdom, and being born.
Where's Joe?
understanding, 'cause I'm
Where's Joe
always
Shep?
doing
Did he
knowledge
get his
first.
stuff?
You can't put the wisdom before the knowledge. You're supposed
Joe
to
Self,
do the
I mean.
knowledge first. You know what I'm saying? In other words, you're supposed to let somebody speak, listen, look, and observe.
Joe Self should have got his. Joe Self should have got his merchandise today.
Or anything like that. So that's why we do
And,
the knowledge first, and then we speak.
You know anything about the math or anything like that?
Not about the math, no.
Alright. So basically, it's 9 numbers plus a 0.
Jeffrey Morrell.
Each one
Another
represents
brother I ain't seen in a long
different-
time.
Definition.
Yeah, like it like so you have, you know, for example, like to knowledge something, the way he just used it now, means to study something. When you hear people do the knowledge, right? It's to study something. When he says you can't put knowledge before wisdom, wisdom is a verb, right? Is your words. So that's why he's saying you can't just talk without researching what you're about to say.
Dr. Dankenstein.
You put what you learned with what you taught together, and you're gonna come up with a deeper understanding, right? So 1 + 2 = 3, and that's why we follow these mathematical principles, because in the completion of anything, right? 9 is born, right? Completion, to bring into existence, to born something. You have to start out at a certain place.
Alright, Jeffrey,
you have
you
to
all
carry
right?
it through certain steps, or you're gonna fuck it up and it's not gonna happen. That's why people say it'll take you from knowledge to born. Don't just go 1, 3, 5, 2,
Yeah.
6, 4. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be all over the place. You're gonna get lost. But if you
That's
try
why.
to-
That's why I have.
Once I figured
That's
out
why I
how
had
to
the
get my
order.
videos
1, 2,
past
3,
YouTube
4, 5,
again,
6, 7,
I
8,
got all my old
And then
timers
back
came
to
back.
But really, though, is another one cipher,
Mhm.
which is the 10th. You know what I'm saying? But you know that's how we teach it for now. It's the born back to now.
The cipher is just like person, place, and thing. Like it's like in math, like regular math, pencil and paper, and none hit you with a ruler math, right? The 0 is just a placeholder. It doesn't actually hold any numeric value. It just is a placeholder, so you know that, okay, well, this 1 next to the 0 means that there's this 1 + 9 more. You know what I mean? So 0 doesn't. It's at the middle of all the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Both positive, it separates positive from negative and shit like that. So that's why we don't teach it separately, but we don't teach it together either, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So, and then you have knowledge, wisdom, understanding,
Oh
Close
yeah,
to
Wayzine.
power, refinement, equality, God, build and destroy, not or,
Wayzine,
and.
man.
Because you cannot make an omelet without breaking
That's the
the
guy
eggs.
right there.
Born, and then cipher the placeholder.
Person, place, I think.
Man, yeah, man, I miss seeing Wayzine, man.
Then
Wayzine
after that is alphabet.
come every
So
rally
how-
back in the days.
Where do you learn all this stuff? Like,
Mostly in dark back alleys by candlelight under the moon.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
like here's one place that you can go to learn it.
is there any books or anything? Or?
Don't trust most of the books.
No.
Don't trust most of the books. Don't trust most of the internet. Don't trust anybody with a bow tie who's talking 2 languages at the same time.
What do you mean by that?
It's a whole like Muslim God movement. I get started with that.
Oh,
and never
you're
get out of
talking
here.
about like.
Juniors.
Yeah. I know that there's a lot.
You know what I'm talking
There's
about.
like, what about like Kemet? Is this?
Yeah, like don't, because when you go online and you go to people who don't actually be around it, what you end up getting is like the as seen on TV version. And then the next thing you know, they're telling you that like eating corn is the reason that you have a butthole and other stupid shit like that. You
Darkim,
fucking aliens
I
and
wanted to ask you about
giants
those
and shit like
shirts
that that
you
don't make no
put on.
sense.
I like them
You
a
know what I
lot.
mean?
So what are some of these?
The shirts with
So
the
what-
it said
What are
Kings
some
of
these people that
Kings.
you're talking
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, how much
Hoteps
are
and
those?
shit like that.
about?
Yeah,
I gotta
like
look
just
at
be
that.
careful online. Like
Just let me know, and if you could bring
It's a
me one,
good
just let me know the
resource.
price.
Well, there's an endless amount
But-
of
extra
crazy
lot.
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's just
extra
a lot of it
size
gets
large,
swept
and
up
then,
into
you
the,
know, you tell me
you know,
when it's
to the-
ready, and
to the
I bring
mix
it.
of craziness that's out there. So the best places to go
I'm
is
out.
really like
Peace to the God.
word of mouth. You going back to Pilon?
Yeah.
What part?
Kingsbridge Road.
Kingsbridge and what?
University. University right behind the Killeen College.
You wanna ride? Alright.
Oh, peace. Nice meeting you.
All right.
Yeah. Yo.
Yeah, 'cause I'm going back up that way too, so I'll be nice
All right.
and keep you safe from the coronavirus for one more night at least, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
On that train, you know, I don't even touch the rails.
You gotta just jump right in, man. Just
Yeah.
rub your eyeballs directly onto the metal surfaces.
That's good, Ja Roll.
Peace, internet.
Peace.
That's good, Ja rolling out together.
Peace, yo.
Then I gotta go meet up
Peace to
with
the God.
some brothers out in
Hey, I
Medina.
didn't get your name.
My name is Darkim.
Darkim?
Yeah.
Ryan.
Now look, my class that I have is on Tuesday
Okay.
at 7. You know what I'm saying? This Thursday is not.
my usual
still
class.
in, yeah.
Cause y'all was here, so you know what I'm
Tuesdays.
saying?
All right.
Y'all was here and I was here.
Well, I'm definitely gonna come back here. I live in Brooklyn, so it's.
And what part?
Well, I was in Sunset Park for 2 months, and now I got moving to Red Hook.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll see you next week then.
All right, man. Nice meeting you.
You too, man.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate you having me here.
All right.
Later. Hi.
Queen Divine Zia, you came in right as I'm leaving this time. And you came in right as I'm leaving. I've been back here in the cut, you know what I mean? Just letting the brothers build. So, I guess since you just came in the room, we're gonna, Night Owl, what are you asking? Night Owl, you said why not teach on what? Alfonso Brown says saying don't trust anyone with a bow tie is extreme separation. Yeah, Empress Peace, man, he got a little bit sick, he gotta recover right now. But everything's smooth with Inf. Everything's smooth with Sunyez. They just ain't here this week. I'm filling in. You know, I noticed since Inf, when Inf was around, I used to get more views, man. It's funny how that worked. You would think I would get more views now, but now I just get more views when Inf was there. So yeah, I gotta tell Inf to get back in effect ASAP. But you know, he just charging up his batteries right now. So Queen Z, I'm gonna give you the last question again, so I can make up. I have to become back politically correct. I need my politically correct points back. Yeah, that's peace, Dr. Degenstein. This was a pretty good class. You know, you can go back and check this one out. But we have to give the last question to Queen Divine Zia. Night Owl said, if I'm asking if we are not anti-white, why can't a white man be Allah? He don't have the equipment. Like, you know, if you want a scientific explanation, right, is the third law of thermodynamics. You know what I'm saying? And the way it would apply to the colored man, right, not being a law is that, you know, basically, you know, we come from the universe, and the Caucasian man comes from us, from our body, from our physical composition. Like I said, white people got here from the science of sex. No matter which theory you subscribe to, you know what I'm saying? White people came about through a science of sex. So they came from the physical, whereas we came from a supreme thought. Queen Divine Zia, I don't know the color man. He came here today. He said that he plays jazz music, and just from listening to hip hop, he's always heard about the 5%, and that he moved to New York, you know, dealing with his music or whatever, and he realized that this was a real place. So he looked it up and he came over here. That's his story. That's what he said. You know, look, I'm gonna teach you the same thing. You could be the police, you could be the FBI, CIA, NSA, DA. I'm teaching you the same thing. Yes, I'm on the 114 born degree, so I found it interesting he was there. Okay, but I'm not Muhammad, and I ain't got 35 to 50 years. I ain't got 35 to 50 years for him to study. Give him 3 to 5 months, 3.5 to 5 months. And I said, what about single cell organisms? Wasn't sex involved at that point? I'm not sure how that relates to, I'm not sure how that relates to, what we're saying. Peace, you king.
Peace.
Yeah, our own children come about the same way. But see, this was how we ended the last live. Was about what the meaning of the black woman is. You see what I'm saying? As the sole individual that can reproduce us. If we choose to reproduce ourselves, it's with the supreme wisdom. See, you know, like I said, the devil comes from separation. So once you killing off the black and you only marrying the unalike, then that manipulation right there makes it not the same way. You went from reproducing yourself to grafting. But yeah, that happened, you know, and I'm glad that did get caught on live, because you know I've had quite a few people ask me that when I teach white people, do I teach them that white people is the devil?
And I never understood why they was asking me that. Like, what else? Like, I don't have no other signs to tell you. So I'm glad that y'all seen that. Yeah, it's that easy. You teach what you always taught, and what you know is the truth. And the truth can't be disputed. While I said the colored man and woman is not the original, they can be taught our way of life to civilize themselves, but a Muslim does not love the devil regardless of where he studies. And I am not a Muslim. Knowledge born is crazy, man. Yeah, nah, some people don't teach. Some people don't teach it to all because they don't know how to teach it. It's like when you look at the degree, you know what I'm saying, and it tells you that the 85% don't try to learn who's causing all this to happen by letting the 5% teach them, right? That's what you got to teach these. See, like just he a Caucasian, but I gave him some of his Caucasian history and how he got to the point where he at, where he sees that his people, you know, they got some shady ways, let's say. Yaqub is not the devil. Shakim said, the Father said, love whoever loves you. Would you love a white woman back if she loved you? I mean, that was, you know, that's one of them things where, yeah, Jassim Yaqub was God. He was an original black man and was the father of the devil. Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say, Wise, is that when you say love, you know what I mean? You know, like that's one of those questions. Can a white woman really love you? You understand what I mean? Like, you know, you got just the, you know, the emotion of love, you know, just the attachment, you understand what I mean? And the attachment anxiety. But when you really deal with the highest elevation of understanding, right? Does a white woman have the knowledge and wisdom? You know, maybe I'm only looking at it from the perspective of being here in America. You know what I'm saying? Like you have the you know, like I said, you can have an emotional attachment with a lot of people, but you know, love, you know what I'm saying, is knowledge and wisdom. And we say wisdom is wise words and wise ways and actions. You know what I'm saying? So this is, you know, you could get caught up in the love of how you feel, right? And then there's actually the love that you show, the love that you give.
you know, I mean, I can't tell each person what their personality is, but I'm gonna tell you that, look, you know, at least on the physical plane, you're not gonna born the highest form of understanding work. But you know, perhaps some people's hearts know no racism. I don't know. Night says some people get real touchy when you start asking questions about white people, but it's real easy for us to dismiss our own. I didn't really understand that one. Yeah, R.P. Reese. Yeah, he said something. You know, yeah, the relationship between the white woman and the black man is always gonna be in America. Is always gonna have a whole lot of connotations to it. You see what I mean? Because at the end of the day, right, there's no laws protecting the white man from the black woman. There's no clan that rides out, you know, when the white slave master went into the slave quarters to do what they do, right? No clan ran out and lynched the woman, because the white man, he loves having access to the black woman. He didn't want the black man having access to the white woman. So all of these laws that we had and all of this history, you know, that's always in America, you know, for anybody that, you know, is really like into that type of thing. Yo, I just seen a text on my thing. The Prime Minister of Canada, they say he got the coronavirus. Wild stuff, wild stuff. So that's always gonna be a case, you know. So what Wise is saying right here, that, you know, you have to ask some people maybe outside of America that have a different type relationship. You understand what I mean? And, you know, my family's from Beaufort County, South Carolina. So we got a particular way that we see the situation. Shakim said, when I was a younger guy, I was at a law school in Mecca and seen an older guy with a white woman. His earth, I guess she was in refinement. I mean, I don't know how she gonna be the earth, you know, when the earth borns the highest level of understanding. And she simply can't do that. See, inside the black man body exists a black germ and a brown germ. Inside the half original man body exists a black germ and a white germ. It's two different things. I mean, I guess you could say that's his earth. If that's how you choose to do it. It's not my woman, it's his woman. Now it's born said, the way I see it, love is given, not received. Brilliant Elevation said that Allah's statement was taken out of context. If I'm not mistaken, Allah was saying that in reference to his black women. Wait. Which statement are you talking about? Process says when it says the black man is God, black includes indigenous of different regions. Yeah, we the cream of the whole planet Earth. And we saying the whole planet is Asia. You understand what I'm saying? Not just this region over here or that region over here. We the original people. So see, when you go to Australia and you ask everybody there, right? Yo, how those Aboriginal people got here? You know what they all gonna tell you? We don't know. They was here when we got here. That's what makes them the original man. They don't have a birth record. There was no one here to record when they got there. Oh, by the law saying love who loves you. I mean, you right. It's most likely being taken out of context. You know. Still, you know, it's a point. Deviled eggs. Now you got me with that one, Night Owl. Where did deviled eggs come from? We've gotten into the minutiae. But yeah, I would agree with you on that though, Brilliant Elevation, that applying Allah saying love the one that loves you to Caucasian women is a stretch. Yeah, Yaqub is God. See, the 38th degree, I'm not sure if you got there already, Johnson, but the 38th degree asked them, why does God make devil? See, if Yaqub is the devil, then the devil made the devil. And now that fundamentally changes a lot of what we teach about the devil and where he came from and what his nature is. God cited the divine, you dodged the bubonic. Yeah, Asiatic mathematics will probably tell you where deviled eggs come from. I mean, Shakim, but the lessons also say a Muslim does not love the devil. I don't know why y'all don't take those masks off. They don't do nothing. They ain't gonna help you. You've been exposed to it already, man. Yeah, knowledge born. Knowledge born said if the devil made the devil, that would make him God, which is impossible. Yeah, see, at that point,
you giving the devil the power of creation. And I'm not prepared to do that. But yeah, I was waiting on Queen Divine Zia. I was waiting on Queen Divine Zia to ask her last question because it would just be a good thing to do. You know, since I've been elected the president of the He-Man Women's Haters Club, Women Haters Club. I try to make that up with positivity. Supreme Justice said when Allah said, I love whoever loves me, it wasn't in a so-called romantic sense. It was more of a respect thing. If a white woman or a man has love for me, I have love for them. It's called respect. Well, Dr. Dagestan says it sounds like a stretch, but if we weren't there to hear him say it, it shouldn't be speculated on with such absolutists. Okay, he didn't say this in the same conversation, but there's prohibitions against white women. It's supposed to be no dope, no denying me that I was Allah, no white women, and no pig. That's what was said on another day. You know what I mean? So, you can't isolate that statement from all his other statements. A black man with proper knowledge of himself, not a black man with 120. 120 is not proper knowledge of yourself. P. Foster, my man, you checked your email, P. Foster? You got your shipping number. I didn't check on where your stuff is at. Joe Self should have got his stuff, or his stuff should have got delivered. Yeah, your stuff is in the mail, P. Foster. Brilliant said, I heard the Otisville tape only like a month ago for the first time. I didn't understand any of it until I found the speech online. God said, Divine said, we gotta wait for Asiatic mathematics to come in, and because when we call someone pinhead, right? I've never called anyone a pinhead in my life. Like, I've heard the term, but I don't know that to be like a 5% terminology. This is not the first time I see you ask that question. I'm not sure where when you say we call someone pinhead, yeah, when you talk to the older guys, they'll tell you that he did in fact say, no pig, no denying me, no dope, and no white women. Oh, so yeah, Asiatic mathematics. Where did the term pinhead come from? Pinhead is a bowling. The hard copy of the album, you gotta go to my Bandcamp. If you go to my Bandcamp, it's hold on. Go to that page right there. They got the hard copies. Hold on, wait a minute. Queen Zia asked the question, and I was dealing with what's her name? Nah, I don't know when he what's her name? Queen Zia asked the question. What was it that for? What? Was it just for? Oh, it's actually on the show and prove. This will be my first one. What am I to expect, more or less? What does it entail? Well, the show and prove is really a children's event. You know what I'm saying? So you know it's more of a celebration. You understand what I'm saying? It's not, you know, it's not like the hot seat or nothing at the show and prove. You know what I mean? The show and prove is basically like how, you know, this your first show and prove, this wife's first show and prove. You know, the show and prove is more of an event like that where you, you know, meet the other people that's in the nation. You know what I'm saying? But that's more of a celebration. You know, if that's what you mean. You know what I'm saying? We showing improvement by coming together and being a nation. Because you gotta remember that part of the history of the show and prove is that, you know, a lot of brothers wasn't sure how things was gonna go when Allah first returned. You understand what I'm saying? There was some people who, you know, they lacked understanding. They thought it was over when that happened. You see what I'm saying? So the show and prove was like a celebration that we still exist. You know, we still here, and we gonna teach on. You know, so that's what the show and prove is about. Brilliant Elevation said he missed my response to the He-Man Women's Haters Club. I'm the president. I got elected along with Jimmy Carter. Talking about the pinhead stuff. Cure in the building. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you, God Cypher Divine. That I'm saying the same thing in Asiatic mathematics. That you keep saying, pinhead, like it's a widely used term. Like, pinhead. I know that from the horror movies. Wes Craven, he had a character called Pinhead. That's what I thought you first was talking about. Dr. Jenkinson said, what I'm saying is we shouldn't speak on the context of a conversation we didn't hear ourselves. That goes for any convo, just keeping knowledge and wisdom and good practice. I mean, well, that's why you don't hear me, I'm not going to argue you or anybody else down about it. You understand what I'm saying? But I got a little more insight on it, right? Because I've been around a lot of people that was there in those conversations. So even though I didn't get a chance to ask Allah, you understand what I mean? I did get a chance to ask some people that was there firsthand. You know what I'm saying? So whereas the average person, you've only heard what was on the tape. I might have heard what was in the conversation before the tape recorder got turned on. And what we talked about the next day after the tape was turned off. You see what I'm saying? That gives me a little more insight. So that's why I'm saying that, when I look at the whole of what the God is saying, he wasn't particularly speaking on white women. You see what I'm saying? But like Justice was saying, and like I was saying, is that you also got to realize that, we used to have a degree called when love was separated from sex. And if you, Asiatic mathematics, I need some language help here. What are the 3 Greek terms for love? It's 3 Greek terms. One is for romantic love, one is for brotherly love, and one is for a different type of love. I know one of them is agape, A-G-A-P-E. You better know this too, Asiatic mathematics. With all the hassle you give me over language. Smell good, it's peace. Yeah. Yeah. There's an after party after the show and prove. I mean, we oh yeah, I did hear, yeah, something going on this year. You're right. It's something. I think I gotta talk to Be Allah Man. Yes, Al Bundy, man. We gotta do an Al Bundy. Build or destroy. Justice came in. You got a slash between build and destroy? I just got build or destroy. Yeah, but see now, Justice, he referred it to something else. He said the head of a pen is very small. So saying you a pinhead is saying you stupid, which I understood that. But I'm just saying that what he's asking is, does it have a root in the nation? So that's why I'm asking him, where did you hear it? You know, like there's certain things, you know, like look, there's another place called the Brooklyn Bridge. There's another Brooklyn Bridge, I think in North Carolina. Nah, that Brooklyn Bridge don't have nothing to do with this Brooklyn Bridge. I know it says the same thing, but it's not, don't have nothing to do. When we say the Brooklyn Bridge up here, we don't mean that. Oh, here we go right here. Somebody. Yeah, Philia is the other one. So we got it, we put it together. Eros, Agape, and Philia. And so what I was saying that to say was that, you know, that's what me and Knowledge Born was speaking on, and also what Supreme Justice was speaking on is that, you know, love is not just in a romantic sense to us. You see what I'm saying? That's what you call, what you speaking on is called courtly love. That was invented by Shakespeare and those type of people. It's like mathematics gonna say, I don't know the Greek word. Man. Queen Devonzia said, are there regularly scheduled classes offered to the Earths by the Earths at the school? Earths, I'm trying to think, has there ever been a class that an Earth was teaching? I don't recall specifically. But no, there's not one right now. My ambition to win, he got the different types of love. Kill the Cure said, love is the beginning of hell most of the time for me. You gotta fix that, Kill the Cure. You're allowing the wrong people into your cipher. I know, right? The bar, Mr. Etymology, gonna say he don't know the Greek word. Man. More scholars have been claiming responsibility for teaching Europeans courtly love. Possible. But I just know that you know, that's not the type of love where people could walk around naked, right? And it don't be no rapes or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, once you get into the courtly love and all of that, you know, lust and all of that stuff starts to get involved. Asiatic says, but the word love is not derived from a Greek word though. Yeah, right, man. Come on, man. But yo, let me get out of here, man. I told you I got this mission. Wow, I didn't know that many people came in here. We had 60 people. Soon as class be popping. Well, I said I saw a bill of freedom so that when they talk about Allah, they include Allah and justice. Guaranteed. That's how I got it. It was Allah and justice. Yeah, knowledge born, I would agree with that. You know, because they don't, you know, it's the highest elevation of understanding. So if they don't have that understanding, you know. But so, I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. Right now, I gotta go make some donuts. You know what I'm saying? Night Owl, Teran Reed. Peace. That's a new name. Teran Reed. Peace. How you doing? So yeah, I'm gonna catch you saying, you know, got some of the old people back, you know what I'm saying? Nanu Nanu. What you know about Nanu Nanu? Alright, Queen Divine Zia, peace. Jay Baldwin. But so I'll see y'all tomorrow and we'll keep this thing going. Peace.